Welcome to hell. Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again and again.
There is a great disturbance in the Force.
I have felt it.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are live. No one is going to stop this show ever. Let's get going, ladies and gentlemen. It's MAGGCAST. We are live tonight. Let's rock and roll. Yes. Good evening, everyone. We are here. We are ready to rock and roll. And it is mag time, ladies and gentlemen. It is MAGGCAST. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Whether it's on YouTube or whether it's, believe it or not, on Spotify. Let's rock and roll. That's what I'm talking about.
Discipline your mind.
That's right, Snape. He's got it all under control, ladies and gentlemen. And we're doing it all for the community, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. That's right, folks. I got the pump going on tonight, working these pipes before we hit LA, you know. Gotta look good on Long Beach. Try not to get shot in the process, but you know, hey, it's the way it goes. What's going on, everybody? I see everybody in the chat doing well. Everybody's hanging out, ready to party. We got some major things to talk about tonight, folks. We're gonna start a little bit light, start a little bit chill, get into some fun little topics, you know what I'm saying? And then when we get into those fun little topics, then we're going to move on to the big topic, because you know it's going to be a big one. We got a spicy topic tonight. I've got a video, by the way, which I will be going into detail tomorrow about. It'll be launching at noon tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. I'll have a video launching at noon tomorrow, and it's going to be a spicy topic, and we will touch upon it tonight. So go check that out tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. I have a premiere set for noon Eastern Standard Time for that video. And anyways, let's get going. Let's talk to the chat, ladies and gentlemen. And before we even get started, hi, everybody. And look at that. We've got Golden Soup coming in, a member for 10 months. Thank you so much, Golden Soup. And what does he say? He says, a member chat. He says, back in time after the evening walk. That's good, buddy, because you know what? A sedentary lifestyle will kill you. So you got to get off your butts, get on your feet, get moving. And I'm telling you something, by the way. Once we work out, I'll tell you this right now. We've got initiatives here in this channel, okay? Because I care. I legitimately care. And we are going to do some things with this community. The first thing we're doing is we're getting our butts to LA, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're going to LA, and that's all because of you. Every single one of you have made that happen, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to LA. That is initiative number 1. And I can't thank you guys all enough for all the incredible support that I've gotten for all that. Initiative number 2, and it'll be an ongoing mission. We are going to work on gamers and mental health. Not only because of me, because I have some pretty severe anxiety issues, but I know that other people out there too. And actually, it's a known fact, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew about this. And I'm not joking around. For once, I'm actually not joking around. I'm being dead serious. Is that it's actually been pointed out in studies that a lot of gamers, like when they, zero in on a game, focus, whatever, have a lot of mental health issues. And I don't mean that we're all crazy. We are crazy, but a lot of it helps to cope with a lot of our, social anxieties, regular anxieties, depression, things like that. And video games help with all that. So we are going to continue to work on that as a community together. That's going to be another initiative we're going to work on together. And I need help too, man. I'm not there just to support everybody else. People reach out to me and talk to me, and I talk people through some problems and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not a therapist or whatever, but I do help as much as I can. But I need it too, man. I need that support too, because I have those days. Boys and girls, where it gets rough. You know how it goes. But either way, initiative number 3, and this is why I'm bringing this up, by the way. I'm bringing this up because Golden Souk already brought this up. Evening walk. I am going to get gamers to get off their asses and start exercising, start doing something. That also helps with the mental health as well. But we're going to do all of those things. We're going to start exercising together. We're going to be doing all that stuff. We're going to be getting in shape. All right? We're going to drop those pounds, get more active. And you know why? Because the more of that you do, the longer you live. And the longer you live, the more games you get to play. That'll be another initiative we're going to work on down the road. We're going to about health and fitness. We're going to be doing all that stuff and how that relates to gaming, because let's face it, when you're gaming, you're not running around, right? You're not on a treadmill while you're playing Pragmata. You're sitting on your ass on the couch, which is totally fine. I do the same thing too. But we're going to add exercise into all that, and we're going to feel better, we're going to look better, and we're going to live better. That's all something we're going to do. Thank you, Golden Suka. I appreciate you, brother. And right off the heels of that, we got Josh Duckwall, a member of 4 months of a top-tier maggot. Go check out No Cracks Given. I just watched his latest. Quite good. And he says, Josh Duckwall says, double feature tonight. He goes, we're watching Mag and enjoying playoff hockey. Go Sabres. Let's go. Come on, Buffalo. You can do it, man. I got it. Listen, man, I'm not a Buffalo Sabres fan. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. I'm a Bills Mafia for life. That's the way it's going to be. However, I got a soft spot for Buffalo, so what am I supposed to do, man? Am I supposed to not cheer for Buffalo? Of course I am. So go Sabres. Let's go. That's right. That's right. And right off of that, we got G-Mania coming in, dropping a $20 super chat. Let's go. Thank you, G-Mania. Appreciate that, brother. And he says, hey, Mag, won lots of money last night on the Hurricanes beating Ottawa. Nice. All right. So here's 20 to buy an Xbox shirt in L.A. or a pair of socks for Colt. All right. We will do all of those things. There you go. You unlocked a rare achievement there, G-Mania. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. And right off the that, we've got Grumpy Old Fart coming in. Let's go. Grumpy Old Fart with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Grumpy Old Fart. Good friend. And by the way, don't you ever worry about your grammar in the chat, okay? It's all good, buddy. It's all good. And he goes, Mac, we need a special podcast with you, Colt, Ray, and Jimmy. 2 ponies versus 2 bots. I'm neither. I'm a pony bot. So what am I, the referee? I'm going to have to be the referee. Because apparently I don't know, the people who don't like me call me pony bots. And the people who do like me call me pony bot as well. And he says, and we need a pick from LA. Hasta la vista, baby. Hi, Snape.
Control your emotions. Discipline your mind.
Yes, thank you, Professor Snape. Thank you so much. Grumpy Old Fart, listen, due to obviously the generosity of this community and the one and only Kung Fu Hot Dog, by the way, he had actually donated a specific set of money for me to get the proper lavalier microphones, which are fantastic. I'm gonna be buying them probably this week. I'm hoping for a sale. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm hoping for a sale, okay? And then when that sale comes on, then I'm gonna be buying these things because they're very expensive. They're called not GoPro, they're called like Rode Pro Go 2 or something. And they're apparently amazing. So I'm going to get those. And I'm going to be vlogging the entire trip in LA, including me taking showers with Colt Eastwood, while his wife watches reruns of the Golden Girls in the hotel television. That's right. That's exactly what's going to be going on, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to be doing all that. Actually, speaking of LA, thank you very much, Grumpy Old Fart. Appreciate that, brother. The thing is actually, and I'm not allowed to say what games. Okay, so don't ask because I'm not allowed to say it. However, what's up, Sergeant Essential? Yes, I'm going to record me meeting Colt for the very first time. Yes. And I'm going to be pulling Hargeet's beard, and I'm going to, listen, if I don't get into FanFest, I'll tell you right now, I'm double drop kicking the doors like Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse. It's happening. One way or another, I'm getting in there. And if I get carted off by the police, I get tased, whatever ends up happening, it doesn't matter. At least I could say I made it to the Xbox FanFest. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, go Leafs, go. Thanks, Maritime. Listen, man, I just gave up on the Leafs like a quarter into the season. I'm like, listen, man, I'm not doing that. Anyways, so the days of play are happening when I'm in LA on the Friday. I get there on the Thursday. On the Friday, that's Jeff Keighley's show that's going to be at the Dolby Theater, which, by the way, I'd like to point out that the Dolby Theater that we're going to is the exact same one that are at the Academy Awards, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. I'll be in the same room, hopefully sitting in the same chair that Jack Nicholson sat in, whatever. I'll be right there in the Dolby Theater for the Jeff Keighley showcase. That's going to be awesome. Now, the days of play is going to be 3 days worth of stuff, all right? And I already got invited by 2 separate companies to have behind closed doors, not only just a look, but I get to play games that are coming out sometime in 2027. and I'm very excited for it. We're just setting up it's all set up. We'll just have to set up a time and all that, and that's going to be very exciting. And of course, they told me what the games were. 2 games right now, and there'll be more games that I'll be allowed to see. But these ones are behind closed doors. No one's allowed to see what's going on. And I may not be able to record that stuff, but at least I get to go in there. Now, after I'm in there, I'm allowed to talk about it. But up until I get there, I am not allowed to speak on it. All right? What's up, Geppetto? How you doing? So I'm not allowed to speak on it. But I thought it was pretty exciting nonetheless. Yeah, so that'd be pretty cool. And we got Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat, a member for 10 months. Thank you so much, Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat. He is a longtime supporter, ladies and gentlemen, and one of the great Aussies out there in the world. And he says, for Aussies GP Ultimate down from 30 to 26, that's $312 a year. Wonderful. There you go. And that comes courtesy of my girl. You know who I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. That's our girl right there. We're gonna talk about that. That's our main topic tonight, folks, and we're gonna be yip yapping about that till the cows come home. And then we got QMax, a member for 1 month, a magnificent maggot. Thank you so much, QMax. And he says, got to work tonight. I have to miss. Love y'all, maggots. We love you too, QMax. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate that. Dirty old man, take a shower. Thank you very much, guys, for your membership renewals. I really appreciate that. And what's Hebs talking about here? He goes, Hebs, what's up, Meg? I saw you got the platinum for Alan Wake 2. I just got Pragmata. You got the platinums on those games already? You gotta be kidding me, dude. But yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. On the PlayStation side of the world, I got the platinum on Alan Wake 2, and it was wonderful. But let me tell you something, folks. I just saw somebody join the channel, and as always.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Welcome to hell. What's up, Sinless? How you doing? Matt Rush, Literal Table. I'll get to everybody's names. You know how it goes. Samuraj. Jay Slayer's in the house. Ambidextrous is in the house. How you guys doing? Just talked to the Wolfman. Even in his state, he keeps his humor. Practically a brother. Yes, he definitely is ambidextrous. Now, here's the thing. Oh, you just bought them. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's pull it back a little bit, okay? Hebs kind of like led me on a bit, you know what I'm saying? All right, he led me on a little bit. He let me know the way he was saying, hey, Brandon, how are you? And he said this. I thought he got the platinums on those 3 games already. And I'm like, bro, they just came out like 4 days ago. What are we talking about here? And he goes, no, I just bought them and planned to platinum them. Yes, I do too. Now, that's going to be Iron Balls. How you doing? Ion Storm, how are you? You're awake and ready to go. Good. And the OA comes in. A member for 3 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother. And he says in his member chat, he says, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Oh, does that kind of deserve, like...
It is unavoidable.
It is your destiny.
It is your destiny.
That's right, OA. And he says, good evening, everyone. I would like to point out what a blessing it is for you guys to spend this lovely evening with me. 3 months and counting. Let's go. Oh my God, Iron Balls. My God, that sucks, dude. Listen to this, guys. And he goes, I just got my motorcycle stolen and just found it today with the local community helping out. Oh, good. I'm glad that helped out. And listen, man, if I was close by, you know what I would do? Let me tell you what I would do. Aeronation, how you doing, bud? Get a group of your best mates. Now, I'm not condoning this. I'm not condoning this. Get a group of your... rowdiest mates. Set up that motorcycle to be stolen again as bait. Okay? But this time, it's a trap. It's a trap! Okay? You're gonna be like Admiral Akbar. It's a trap! So you set it up as a trap. Okay, you put it out there. You make sure you're all hiding somewhere, hanging out, whatever. And you set it all up so that when someone steals the bike again, that's it. You're on it. You're on top of these clowns. And then you go to work. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I would do. Phantom Thief, how you doing? And then collect the insurance. And PS Vet Gaming, a good friend. Thank you so much, my friend. And he says, LA, it is, motherfucker. Let's go. We're past the 50-minute mark. I can start swearing now. Thank you so much, BS Vet, for joining the channel yet again. And, of course, for all the people who have renewed their memberships, y'all know what that means. You're stuck here for life, and you got to hear a little bit of this. You know how it goes.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
That's it. Welcome to hell. Oh. No, sinless. I never said that. I just said go to work. I didn't say jump them. But I kind of did say set a trap. That's what I would do. That's how you get shot in the U.S. Fuzzy tomato. Well, then you have to... Listen, okay, so we have to do this. Iron balls. If you have adamantium armor, make sure you put that on. Literally, Mag, they wouldn't survive the community. Well, then maybe, just maybe, you kind of leave it out there. And then you kind of prevent it from happening again. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying. Of course I am. You know what I'm saying? Anyways. Okay, folks. Now that we've said hello. Oh, by the way, yes. I'm sorry about XNC last night. So I couldn't do XNC last night. My son had a sporting accident. So I'm just gonna briefly mention that. Head-to-head collision playing basketball. And you know. Young teenage boys they play real aggressive and all that stuff, right? And got into it, whatever, and something happened. Both went for a ball. My son got the ball, obviously, and as he got the ball, the other guy was too close. They smashed heads together, so the other dude got it center forehead. My son got it on the temple and over the eye, and it was pretty
Welcome to hell.
So it was a pretty nasty hit. He got sent home from school. Well, they had him in a dark room in the school and all that, so we had to pick him up and all that. And he's been having headaches and stuff since. And the more concerning was about 10 minutes before the show tonight. He said he was stuttering a bit, which was really kind of concerning. So I will be looking at that. But, I wake him up every couple hours at night. So I haven't really slept in 3 days. It happened yesterday morning, but still, the thing is, I was, the weekend, how the weekend goes, and then this, and then being on top of that, and then, of course, the worry and the stress and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, concussion protocol, Rambo, exactly. What's up, Daniel? How you doing? I'm just hoping that Ghost Fixer, how are you? I'm just hoping everything is good because, listen, man, he's half Italian and he's half Irish. If he doesn't have the hardest head in the world, I don't know who does. All right? So he'll come out of it. But either way, right now I'm a little concerned. But, yeah. Hey, Z-Birdman, how you guys doing? So, yeah, anyways, as it stands right now, we're just kind of keeping an eye on things, and if things don't get any better tomorrow, we're going to, head off to the doctor, and then we'll see what happens after that. He's not showing any signs of a major concussion. I know, because I've had 2 of them. Trust me, I know. They're pretty nasty work, man. But yeah, concussions can be pretty ugly, but I've had a nasty one that was so bad, I couldn't even watch TV or play video games for 6 weeks. Can you imagine that? 6 weeks. I remember it as clear as day, even though my head was not as clear as day. I remember as clear as day, I was sitting on the couch and I'm like, okay, I can't do this. I can't just sit here and do nothing. It's ridiculous. I couldn't drink, couldn't hang out, couldn't do anything. I was just sitting in the room with the lights off for weeks. And I'm like, I gotta watch something. I gotta watch a movie or something. I don't know what the hell is going on. So I turn on the TV, right? And what the hell's his name? Matt Damon. The Matt Damon movie, Elysium. Right? And I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that. I want to see that. And I'm sitting there and the movie's on. I had the brightness turned down on the TV, which of course now I got the brightness so high I could blind anybody with that thing, right? And Neil Gushwa, how you doing? No, Colt is taller than me, only by an inch. But he may, yeah. So yeah, he's got Tesla doing it. That's exactly it, Magnum. Yeah, how you doing, Magnum? And anyways, so I'm watching Elysium, okay, and a spaceship lands on the planet or whatever, right? And as soon as the spaceship started moving, I'm watching this like this, right? Little table, how you doing? I'm watching it, and the spaceship, because the movement or whatever, I literally just went, "Blah!" and I threw up all over the floor because the movement had set off whatever, it would just it strained my eyes. And so I'll never forget that. And you know what the funny thing is? I have not watched that movie ever since that moment. That's how bad it was. It was brutal. brutal. So, like, trust me, man, I had a pretty nasty, and like having a headache, by the way, I just like to point out, having a headache for 4 straight months is fantastic, let me tell you. You know how much that sucks? Like, nonstop headache for 4 months. It's like you're afraid to move, like you're walking around like this, right? Anyways, he's not like that, so he doesn't have like a massive concussion or anything else. But obviously, there's something going on, so we're gonna take a look at it. But we'll see. But anyways, that's why I wasn't on XNC last night. But we are here on MAGGCAST tonight, so that's what we're doing. And we got Meat Puppet coming in, a member for 7 months. Thank you so much for renewing your membership, my friend. Of course.
Welcome to hell.
There it is. Welcome to hell, buddy. Meat Puppet, thank you so much. And he says, it's nice to see the price drop on Gamepass. We're talking about that tonight. Pragmata looks interesting. Xbox has it available. Yes, they do. So, yes, it's going to be very interesting. Richard, how are you, bud? Pundo in the house. All right. Enough nonsense. We're going to get into our first topic tonight, folks. And it's going to be a light one, okay? It's going to be a light one. I can't help but notice, and I'm sure you guys notice this as well. Hold on a second before we do that. I think Josh Duckwall just got the comment of the evening thus far, ladies and gentlemen. He wins the chat by saying this. Josh Duckwall says, a nonstop headache is the perfect way to explain my marriage to my ex-wife. Oh! No concussions necessary, just find the wrong woman. That's the way it goes. Josh Duckwell, that was fantastic. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, it's happened. It's 2 weeks in a row. I don't even know what to say about it, but you know who's here, ladies and gentlemen? The queen of gaming herself. That blue number is here, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody say hi to that blue number. I hope she's doing well. I hope you're doing well. I hope she's doing well. I'm speaking to her as if she's not, like, literally right here. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I was hoping and praying you're coming to LA, and I still don't even know the answer. I asked you, and you never answered. But you can answer in the chat if you like. But that would be wonderful. Me. There, you got your own theme song. There you go. Just for you. Every time you show up in that chat, in the chat. What's up, No Talent? How you doing? All right, guys, we're going to get into our first topic tonight, okay? We got to talk about this because it's been just increasing. But the good thing about it is that it's been increasing in a good way because the quality is there. And what am I referring to, ladies and gentlemen? I am referring to video game movie adaptations. It is amazing. Cyber Gunter, how are you? Bobby. Get the F out of here. That blue number, she goes, I'm good. I want a burnt peanut PC on Twitter. What? That's incredible. Richard, what's the topic? Patience. Patience, Luke. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe it. It's official. That blue number says she will be in LA. Let's go. Oh, you better bring your dancing shoes, girl. It's going to be one of those. Oh, we're going to have so much fun. Oh, my God, I'm so excited now. I mean, I was excited to meet Colt and everybody else, but blue number's coming? Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's good. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you're coming. That's incredible. Little Evil, how are you? Okay, so let's get back to it. Video game movie adaptations. The only reason why I'm bringing this up as a topic tonight because I want to ask you guys how everybody feels about all this stuff coming up. I mean, we've had incredible movies up to this point. We've had the Sonic movies come out. They were all incredible. We've got, well, to varying degrees of success, Resident Evil. We had Minecraft last year. We had the Super Mario movie. We had the Super Mario Galaxy movie that just came out doing incredibly well, right? And now you're looking at what's going on in the future. We got another Resident Evil game. Don't pull her hair. I would never do that to her. Pistol Pete, how you doing? LOS. We've got Resident Evil coming up in, I believe it's September. And, of course, for me, the one I'm excited about right now, Street Fighter looks absolutely awesome. Blue number, I'm going to forgive you on that typo you put in the chat. His name is spelled Bobby. Oh, my God. Street Fighter looks amazing. The new trailer that dropped just out of CinemaCon just last weekend in LA and in Las Vegas, excuse me. And I'm so hyped for that. It looks fantastic. And you know why I like it? I like it because it's leaning into the fact that it's a video game movie. You know what I'm saying? It's leaning into the fact that it's a video game movie. It's not trying to be like, oh, we're going to make this, sad, dystopian, whatever the F, this and that, whatever, and it's just going to happen to have the Street Fighter. No, it's a ridiculous, completely over-the-top Street Fighter movie with people like Freudian slip. Yeah. Ghostbusters, how you doing? You know what I mean? That just happens to have the Street Fighter characters. You know what I mean? Like we don't need that. Dalsum's a single dad, alcoholic, accountant, and whatever. And I don't need that shit. Just give me a tournament and give people beating the crap out of each other for like an hour and a half. That's good. That's all I need. Ridiculous characters. They look like the video game characters. All right, my Street Fighter cabinet's right back there. Right back there. So I'm really excited for that. So yeah, go watch it. If you haven't seen that trailer yet, go see it. Devil Dog, how are you? And go watch that trailer, the one that just came out of CinemaCon. Absolutely amazing. I'm all for it. I heard the Mario Galaxy movie is good, but it's a little bit frenetic and a little bit ADHD. But that's what I heard from some people. But anyways, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm not going to go to the movie theater to see it. I saw the first Mario movie in the theater, and I'm like, why did I just spend $100 to do this? Because let me tell you something. You go with a family of 4, it's $100, okay? If not even more. Sometimes $150, depending on how hungry the kids are.
Yeah!
So anyhow, now, that's not till October, so we got a ways to wait. What's more interesting is I just got my IMAX tickets for Mortal Kombat 2. That's right. That looks awesome. I mean, Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, perfect. By the way, did anybody catch it in the last trailer? They just did the new trailer where, I think it was in the trailer before as well, but Ed Boon, of course, the creator of Mortal Kombat, one of the creators of Mortal Kombat, and the continuing creator of Mortal Kombat. The other guy left. I can't remember that guy's name. It was Ed Boon and Tobias. That's it. It was Tobias. John Tobias? I think it was John Tobias. Anyways, whatever. I think it was John Tobias. But anyways, the point is that movie looks even better. So I'm all for it, man. And I mean, they filmed the movie in IMAX as well. That means that they had faith in this project, because I can tell you this right now. They don't generally film in IMAX because it's very expensive. They don't do it unless they have faith in the product, right? And they obviously had faith. Yeah, that's right, Josh Duckwall. Ed Boon is the bartender. That's right. And of course, the funny thing is Johnny Cage calls him by name. He's like, Ed, give me another one or whatever. And he shakes his glass. And I'm like, oh, that's so funny. He even kept his name Ed. That was hilarious. The Halo adaptation, I enjoyed it too, Richard, for what it was. I had fun with it. I thought season 2 was good. Master Cheeks is good as well. I don't mind seeing his ass. Didn't bother me. I mean, you can't wear a helmet the whole friggin' show. Well, I guess you kind of can. I mean, you watch The Mandalorian. You know what I mean? So there is that. Jay Silver, how you doing? That's right. And the fact that they got Noob Saibot in the movie, I'm just like, oh my God. When you see him split in two, and then he's fighting Scorpion or some shit or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, that just looks so good. And apparently from what the actors are saying, of course the actors are going to say this, but what they're saying is that all the best bits and all the best parts of the movie are not in the trailers, which is even better, because that's how you should do things. There's one thing that Hollywood has really leaned into, especially when they have crappy movies, is they put all the best stuff in the trailers, the best jokes, the best action sequences, whatever. They put them all in the trailers, so when you watch the movie, there's no surprise. There's no surprise because everything that you saw in that trailer, you've already seen. You know what I mean? And so you watch the movie, I'm like, okay, whatever. And they're saying the direct opposite here, which I'm like, oh my God, that's even better. That's even better for me. It's like the best parts of the movie are not in the trailer, sold. And I would imagine a lot of that has to do with the gore and the guts and all that stuff. They better, and I'll tell you right now, they better not lay off the gore and the guts. They better lean into that just as much as the first movie, if not even more so, because now you've got Kintaro in the film. You've got Motaro. Well, I don't know if Motaro's in the film. Is Kintaro in the film? Or I can't remember. Goro died in the first one. I think he died. I can't remember. But anyways, one of them are in there. Shao Kahn is in there, and you know he's an asshole. You know the way he is. So you know that's going to be totally wild, right? So I'm all for it. I'm excited for it. Now, the other thing I wanted to bring up for all the Resident Evil fans out there, what do you guys think about this Resident Evil situation where he's saying it's not actually following a game? And I'm like, okay. The big problem with that is they've already done that for 9 movies or whatever, however many movies they did. The closest one, which a lot of people didn't like, which I did. Hey, Jardel, how are you doing? Says Castlevania was great. Yes, it was. DJ Marshman in the house. How are you? We're going to get into the TV show stuff in a minute, Marshman. Funky Playbox, how you doing? RT reviews. It's unserious and fun, and we don't get enough of that nowadays. Thank you very much. That's right, RT. Now, the thing is with this Resident Evil situation, I'm like, okay, listen, man. It's a pretty simple concept. It's just like Disney and Blade. How difficult is it to put Mahershala Ali in a goddamn leather suit and give him a sword and a gun and just have him murdering vampires? It's a pretty simple concept. Make the action good. Give us a good protagonist. Give us a good villain. You've got Mahershala Ali, who's a fantastic actor, as the protagonist. Like, how hard is this? But no, you gotta. I read one of the scripts. One of the scripts I got. Not anymore. I don't have it anymore, but I had it in my hands. I read it. They had his daughter and her friends involved, and they were going to do the same old MCU bullshit of putting the actual hero in the background and have, like, you know, a couple of kids taking over, and he's just the schmuck that they're going to make jokes about. No. Make a goddamn movie about Blade having murdering vampires, and that's all there is to it. You don't need to put anybody else. You can have Whistler making weapons. That's it. You don't need anything else. How hard is that? Resident Evil. The reason why I'm bringing this up is Resident Evil. Why can't you just make a movie, like a horror movie, a Vincent Price 1950s style horror movie inside of a mansion with some zombies in it? Doesn't have to be like 8 million zombies. You can have 6 or 7, maybe a dozen zombies in different rooms or whatever, and they're navigating through the mansion and the lab eventually and get the hell out, right? That's it. That's all you had to do. The only one that came close to it, and I know some people didn't like it, I know, was it Magnum? I think it was Magnum. I think it was Magnum. I gotta check because I want to get this right. Oh, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City was fantastic. That's what Magnum was saying. Now, you know what's funny about that? A lot of people didn't like that movie. I actually enjoyed it, and I thought it was the closest Resident Evil-ish Resident Evil we've gotten. I actually didn't mind it either. I liked the movie. I thought it was fun. I had a good time with it. Like, what's the problem? But apparently this new Resident Evil, they're saying, oh, well, you know, it's not really following any games. Just pick a story. They've got so many great stories. And if it does well, and it's really shot well, and it's filmed well, and written well, and directed well, and acted well, you'll get sequels. Then you can make Resident Evil 2 in a police station. Maybe skip 3. You could kind of like meld 3, like, you know, as like a little side story in part 2 or something. Go to Africa for RE5 or whatever. Skip number 6. Do the Louisiana swamps for Biohazard and make it really friggin' scary. You could film it like, you could do Resident Evil 7 Biohazard like, what the hell is it called? Like a Conjuring movie. Make it terrifying in a Louisiana swamp in a big house, big farmhouse or country home in Louisiana swamp. Perfect. Make it like a Conjuring movie, like, or one of those, you know, those the Conjuring universe movies, like The Nun or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Make it like that. How hard is that to do? It won't even cost you a lot of money. You could get what's it called, Blumhouse, to put up the money for it. They'll do it. Resident Evil Village, I love the game. You know how I feel about the game. But it gets a little ridiculous. You know what I mean? With the vampires and the werewolves and all that shit. The big castles. You can avoid all that stuff with that. Keep it grounded. Go with Resident Evil 7. After that, go to Resident Evil Requiem. Robert Pattinson. Oh, who said that in the chat? Robert Pattinson is Leon? What are we talking about? I'm in. He's got the hair. He's got the hair. I mean, I don't have the hair, but he has the hair. You know what I'm saying? Be great. But anyways, we got a lot of great video game movies coming up. Zelda's another one we got to talk about. Now, the other one, well, we don't have to talk about it. I don't know anything about it. I just knew that it was being made about 3 years ago. I first heard about it. Everybody shit on me for saying it. And I'm like, guys, it's coming. I said, it's not going to be like a Nintendo Cinematic Universe, like the NCU, but it sort of is. And the thing is, everybody thought that this was all going to lead up to, there was going to be a bunch of like animated like movies or whatever of all the different characters. I know they're talking about Star Fox right now. And the point, you know, people are saying like, oh, you know, it'd be cool is if like very much like the Avengers, after a bunch of movies, have a culmination and have a Super Smash Brothers movie, right? And just have them all battling to the death or whatever the hell. But Zelda's going to be an actual live action movie, so it's not going to really fit in there, right? So, but there still is, in essence, they're still doing like this Nintendo Cinematic Universe thing, even though they're not calling it that. But I'm calling it that. We're just going to dub that here, right here in the Mag Show, folks. We're going to call it the NCU. You know what I mean? But anyways, then on top of that, we've got all these other shows coming out, right? What else we got? We had 2 seasons of Twisted Metal. By the way, if you have not seen Twisted Metal, go watch that immediately. Anthony Mackie is, he's perfect. He's hilarious. He's lovable. He's charming. He could be badass. He's got all of it, man. Anthony Mackie in that show is absolutely amazing. Now, on top of that, of course, we have the great characters. Sweet Tooth, amazing. They better be doing a season 3 of Twisted Metal, because what a great series. You got to go watch that. It's gory, it's funny, it's hilarious. I mean, it's scary. It's got a little bit of everything. It's really, really good. So, yeah. So, anyways, yeah, there's that. Doing great. But anyways, yeah, now we got Amazon working on the God of War thing. We saw that first screenshot, and then they went dead silent. And why? Because everybody was clowning the living hell out of like the look of it, and they're like, oh shit, people don't want this. So I hope they fix that, because it kind of looked like a Temu cosplay of like, you know, Kratos and Loki there, right? I thought it looked silly. I mean, they got the Gears of War show coming out, so there's a lot of things to look forward to. Now, my question is, before we move on to actual, like, some more serious topics, what would you like to see?
Welcome to hell.
And while you're writing that in the chat, I'm going to actually catch up with a super chat we got right here. We got Seth Monsters coming in, dropping a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Seth Monsters. The man, the myth, the monster himself. And he comes in and he says, hello, good sir. Something for you, something for the maggots. You mentioned this game while playing Mouse PI. L.A. Noir Steam, and he's got a code out there. Whoever wants L.A. Noir, go get in the chat. And I'm sure by the time, it was Ghostbusters said that Robert Pattinson. Thank you so much, Seth Monsters. Appreciate you, brother. And anybody who got that code, please let me know that whoever got it. And make sure you thank Seth Monsters for doing so. Thank you, Seth Monsters, for being such a big supporter of the channel. We got Kung Fu Hot Dog, a member for 2 months. There we go. And he says, Marvel waited for Stan Lee to die to kill his brand. Yeah, I know. No kidding, right? They really tried to change up a little bit too much. I mean, there were a couple of gems in there between Endgame and now, but they weren't made from Disney. They were made from Sony. That's right. Sony. Sony made those movies. They made the Venom movies that were popular. They made the Spider-Man movies that were popular. It was in conjunction with Disney, but Disney did not make those movies. Right? So the shining lights that came between Endgame and now, and Doomsday, have been from Sony, not from Disney at all. And we already talked about it. Disney's doing the big Hail Mary for Doomsday, which they're doing reshoots right now. And I got a guy on the ground floor there, and of course, I had 2 guys who watched the trailer, and that same night that they saw the trailer at CinemaCon, they told me all about it, and I'm like, oh, that's great. So yeah, and that's right. Filming of Tomb Raider series is on hold. That's right, Funky Playbox. There's a little bit of that. And there's problems there. Thank you so much, Kung Fu Hot Dog. Appreciate you. I was actually shouting you out earlier in the show. And we got Seth Monsters coming in once again. Ladies and gentlemen, that man's a monster. He really is a monster. Let's go. He even gets a little bit of Asha love in there for you. There you go, buddy. There you go, Seth Monsters. And he drops a $20 super chat and he says, that was just a taste.
There is a great disturbance in the force.
Oh, there was there?
I have felt it.
Yes. I'm going to read, Seth Monsters, I'm going to read your super chat in the Emperor voice, okay? That was just a taste. Here is more for you and them.
Is that avoidable?
It is your destiny. These are Insomniac bookends and are Steam codes Sunset Overdrive and Spider-Man 2. Dig into it, you rabid dogs. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. Yeah, you're right, Josh Duckwell. Venom 2. And thank you, Seth Monsters. And like I said, guys, as before, put it in the chat. Let me know. Whoever got those codes, he just gave out 3 codes during this chat right now. So whoever got those codes, make sure you let us know who got it. And, of course, thank them. Thank Seth Monsters for that. Please. I would love to know who got it. So let's see. Now, video game movies. What are your suggestions? Okay, so Josh Duckwell says Venom 2 and 3 are dog shit. Yes, they are, but they did make money. They did make money. They were successful. They were successful. So that is good. Yes, Seth is incredible, as always. Yes, he is, Grumpy Old Fart. Amazing. And so are you, my friend. All of you are. I love you guys. Joey Abs, oh! And he says, Arc Raiders TV show that shows that what took place before the Arc took over. That could be good. That could be good. That could be good. As long as it's not a boring slog of, like, pre-apocalyptic, whatever the blah. We've seen that a million times with, like, The Last of Us HBO show and stuff like that. The games are fantastic. The show sucked. The first season was decent. The second season was dog water. That's just my opinion, anyways. And it's not because of the story. It's not because... Yeah, they also made Morbius and Kraven Devil Dog. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. But the ones that were successful, 5 of them were made by them. So let's see your suggestions. Richard says Dino Crisis. We had Joey Abs say Arc Raiders. RT Reviews, he wants a Halo Reach movie. Bleak, hopeless, futile war. Yes, give me all of that. A High on Life show, says Devil Dog. Splinter Cell, but that would just keep getting delayed. Oh, Iron Storm dropping some funnies. He's dropping some funnies in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. That's great. Anyway, keep throwing them out there, folks. Okay, we got to talk about something serious, okay? We're gonna change tunes real quick here. The video I'm doing tomorrow, it's coming out at noon. It's going to be a little bit spicy. I don't say anything really out of line or anything like that, but it needs to be talked about. This Pragmata situation. Now, before I get into the Pragmata situation, let me just tell you folks, okay? I streamed on Friday Night Live here on the channel. I did about 3 hours plus of the game. I love it. I love that game. And it's not because I'm just a simp for Capcom and Resident Evil. It's a really, you know what it is? It's a video game. It's a gamey game. It's a gamer's game. It's a video game that I felt like I played on the 360 and PS3 era. A video game. No bullshit, no nothing, just a video game. You know what I mean? And Pragmata plays the same way, and I love it. Hold that thought, folks. Hold that thought. We've got someone new in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. We got someone new. His name is Brock Carney, and he's coming in. Welcome in. He goes, hey, guys, new maggot here. There you, whoop. We got a new maggot.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Everybody say hi to Brock Carney in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. He's a new maggot here. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. You know what I'm talking about. Welcome to the family, Brock Carney. And he says, I'm gonna answer. He says, hey guys, new maggot here. Random question. I'm from Australia. Wonderful country. Except your bugs are too big, okay? Your bugs are too big. You know why? Because you guys don't have winter. If you had a proper winter, all your bugs would die and go to hell where they all belong. Just like here in Canada. You know how big our centipedes get here? This big. Okay? Like 2 inches max, not even. Like 1.5 inches. You know why? Because they don't have time to evolve. Because by the time they start showing up again in the spring, they're like little tiny things. And then by the fall, they're like 1.5 inches to 2 inches, like some people's... anyway. And then... that's it. Then they die. Then they die and go back to hell where they belong. But no, Australia doesn't have to have a winter. No, you guys have to have just hot weather all year round. And if it's not totally hot, at least it's a little rainy, but it's still, they survive. So your centipedes are like the size of my friggin' leg. No, thank you. And your spiders are ridiculous. The biggest spider I've seen here is like the size of a nickel. I don't see that shit up here. These guys got spiders the size of my cats walking around. And they're like, don't worry about it. It's just a fair dinkum spider. It won't kill you. Or it might, you fuckwit. And I'm like, no thanks. I don't need spiders the size of my head. Anyhow, I didn't even answer his question. He says, I'm from Australia and Pragmata has no disc version on Xbox. If I bought an American one, would it work on my Xbox in Australia? I would think no. If you're dead set on the physical, that's so strange. Why does it have no disc version on Xbox? That's very bizarre. I'd love to know the answer to that, Brock Carney. You're not related to Mark Carney, are you? For any of my Canadians out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. Ladybugs are beautiful, Richard. I know that, but I don't really consider them an insect. Grumpy old fart, you got to initiate Brock Carney. He's now in the chat. Dova, what's up? You're not late. We just barely even started. We just talked about video game movies and stuff. Daniel McCarthy may have been claimed. Yeah, Melbourne is cold as balls in the winter. Okay, I want to know what your version of cold as balls, okay, Magnum, because you live there. I don't think you really know what cold as balls actually means. You come up here in the winter, and I'll show you what cold is. Not even here where I am in Toronto. Go to like Edmonton, like in the prairies in Alberta. They'll show you what cold is. You will die out there. You will die. What's up, 80 Storm? How you doing, buddy? I need to talk to you privately, 80 Storm. Afterwards.
Welcome to hell.
We'll talk later. And Dova's become a magnificent maggot. Thank you so much, Dova, for renewing your membership. Thank you. I appreciate you, brother. All right. I kind of went a little wild there for a minute. We'll catch up. Cold. I have to put on a shirt, Jacob. Yeah. The OA, minus 40 without the wind chill. Exactly. Let me tell you something, man. Y'all don't know. Yeah, go to Nunavut, yeah. Snow Dragon, how you doing? Winnipeg, minus 50. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Noisy Mofo, how you doing? Okay, we got to get back in this topic, okay? I kind of procrastinated a little bit there. Oh, I did it again. LA. Oh, sorry. Seth Monsters drops another $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Seth Monsters. And he says, I did it again. LA Noir is a Rockstar launcher code. Seth Monsters, you maniac. Hey, CDB, Meg just joined. How's the boy? He's struggling a bit, but he'll be okay, CDB. Thank you for asking, my friend. I think he'll be okay, but I got my eye on him. No drinking tonight, as you guys know. I have to keep an eye on things. So, and I'm by myself here till my wife gets home later tonight. So I have to be clean and sober and aware just in case, whatever. So I said, if you have any issues, you come down and see me immediately. So, we'll see how that goes. God willing, everything's okay. But yeah, as of that, I'm holding off on the beers for this week, folks. Maybe next week I'll fire it up again. J-Man, how you doing? And G-Mania comes in and drops a $5 super chat as well. Thank you so much, G-Mania. And he says, I'm back. Had to turn on my Series X to make sure it's working. Dreamcast guys. He says Dreamcast guy said Xbox is dead. Oh, G-Mania, that was really funny, man. You guys are absolutely hilarious, man. You guys are making me piss my pants. What's up, Joe Dutmo? What's up? All right. Enough tomfoolery. We got to get back into the subject here. Pragmata came out Friday. I absolutely adore this game. It's a video gamers game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it plays like a video game. It's fun. It's simple. It's easy to understand. People are like, I'm not sure about the hacking. Listen, let me tell you something about the hacking. Very simple, and it's actually a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's an interesting element that I was kind of stressing about. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was a little stressed about it. I'm like, I'm not really sure about the... But you know what? It's actually a lot of fun. And I'm actually finding it to be like a very enjoyable part of the combat experience in the game. Because you can kind of change it up a little bit. Like here and there, you can do a little this, a little that. You can add different perks in there, whatever. Like you guys know, I mean, if you've already seen the game or you're playing it yourself. It's awesome. It's rated really well on PlayStation. It's at an 86. Xbox and PC, it's at an 87. On the Switch 2, it's an 88. So 86, 87, 88. I think it should be higher, to be quite honest. I think it should be like an 89 to 90 for me. Now, the funny thing is the user scores are sitting at a 9 and above. So the users are all feeling the same way. It's universally praised. It's wonderful. I love this game. In fact, I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure about tomorrow 100%. Maybe. I will be streaming part 2 of Pragmata either tomorrow or Thursday. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be streaming Mouse PI anymore. I already got a copyright hit against me on the channel because of the friggin' music. So I can't do it. So I'm not going to be doing that. And it doesn't have like a streaming mode where I could turn the music off. And let's face it, the music is half the fun of the game. You know what I mean? Like it's got the vibe. You know what I mean? And you're doing all that shit, and it's got the jazz bands playing, and like the big band is like just jamming out with your stand-up bass and all that shit, and it's amazing. Oh, Harry Ballsack, we're gonna get to this. That's gonna be the big topic tonight. So that's part of the fun of the game is like you playing the game, you got the rubber mechanics and whatever, and like the cool 1930s, cartoon, animated vibe and all that shit. And it's awesome. But I can't do it on the channel anymore because I just keep getting hit. Arrow Nation is saying they do have a streamer mode. Oh, okay. I did not know that. I swear I looked and there was nothing there. Well, I guess I'm a jackass. It's just me.
What an idiot. Oh, what a loser.
Stupid fucking game.
Okay?
Stupid fucking game.
I love the game. It's not stupid, but I love it. What's up, Negan? Okay, so here's the situation. This Pragmata thing. My God. So now I've said all these wonderful things about this game. It's awesome. I love it. I love the story. I love the interactions between Hugh and Diana. Diana being the little AI robot and all that stuff. Well, whatever you want to call her. Android. And it's just such a, like, the way that it's progressing so far. I will be doing, like I said, I will be doing more of the game this week. I'll be doing 2 streams this week. I don't know which days I'm going to choose. It's either going to be tomorrow or Thursday for part 2, and then we're going to finish the game on Friday for Friday Night Live. So we will be streaming it this week at least 2 more times. Most likely, I'm going to be doing it on the Thursday and Friday. I'm going to take the day off tomorrow because I got a video coming out tomorrow, but I'm not sure yet. We'll figure it out. But anyways, loving the game. To me, it's a 9 out of 10 easily. I like the paternal aspect of it. Like, I'm a father myself. I have a daughter who basically is like that age. She doesn't have blonde hair. She has brown hair. But, like, it's the same kind of vibe. Well, my daughter's a little bit older. She's 10. This girl kind of jumps around like she's like about 7 or 8 years old, somewhere around there, right? And I love it. It's heartfelt. It's wonderful. It's like all these great things, like she draws you. Like I almost cry. I'm like, oh my God, that's so sweet. Like I know it's an AI android, but it's kind of cool to see like that sort of like the innocence of the child or whatever. And she does like the crayon pictures and like, that's us or whatever. And you're like, oh my God. And and of course you make relations to your own life, which I'm sure that's what Hugh is doing in the game because he has a wife and he has children back on Earth, right? And so, but he's also connecting with this little girl now and whatever, right? And it's sort of, there's feelings between there, like a father and daughter feelings between them. And I'm like, oh, this is really cool. But the internet's got to be the internet. And the internet just can't shut the fuck up.
Yeah!
I can't stand. Like, listen, you'll see in my video tomorrow. The internet has done such wonderful things. It has. Doing what I do here on YouTube or whatever. I thought he did have kids. Because I thought he mentioned that he had a wife and whatever and family. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, the thing is that besides the death threats that I get every once in a while, not really much anymore, but they still come here and there. Besides those, the internet has got me to meet all of you. We all met each other, right? Now we have friends in this community from all over the world right here on YouTube, on Twitter, in our DMs, on our Xboxes, on our PlayStations, on our Switches, on our PCs. You know what I mean? And we've created a positive global, well, we have, not everybody, but we've created a positive global community. And it's been wonderful. But as they sing in that song, freedom isn't free. It all comes at a cost. And the cost of the internet, for all its positives, you also have to deal with a bunch of stupid fucking morons that have no business speaking to the outside world. They just, you know, like in the old school days, if y'all are like, hey, La Pedro, how are you, buddy? If y'all are like as older as I am and you grew up in the 80s, let's say, and even in the 90s, there was always like the two people in town you never spoke to because they were complete morons. Whatever, or they said stupid things or whatever, or they were just completely like they just don't gel with anybody in society. And it's not because they're like, you know, oh well, you know, they have like anxiety issues or something. No, they're just assholes. You know what I mean? People just ignored those people, and you didn't have to deal with them. You didn't have to listen to them every day, because once you get into your house and in your circles and whatever, you didn't have to deal with those people. Right? Be like, Jim's a prick, whatever. He just, nobody talks to him anyway. He's an asshole. He's a miserable old, whatever, abusive piece of shit, whatever. Right? Nobody talked to that guy. You just ignored him. You walked away. The problem with the internet is that every time you turn the damn thing on and you want to talk to your friends, you want to talk to beautiful people and nice people like we have here. Yeah, that's putting it lightly, Max. Yeah, tell me about it. Is that those people shove their way into every conversation and you're forced to read their nonsensical, moronic, uneducated takes on everything. Aggressive, angry, ugly people. Now, maybe they're just sad people who just are looking for attention. Maybe there's that. Like there is that. There is an angle there. You know, they could just be like looking for attention and they're lashing out. You know, like a bad kid you see like in the grocery store and they're freaking out on the ground because, they want to get, Fruit Loops cereal or whatever the hell. I want Captain Crunch. And they start having a tantrum because they know that bad behavior gets attention. That's kind of like what the internet's like. It's the same thing. It's just, except the only difference is that it's grown-ass adults who act badly or behave badly in order to get attention. Well, the reason why I'm bringing this all out is I'm bringing this up is because this all ties into Pragmata. And the discourse around this game, outside of obviously the people who are absolutely adoring this game. By the way, it sold 1 million copies in the first 48 hours. This is awesome. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy. The other thing I'm happy about, by the way, is that Capcom has a smaller, younger team that put this game together. What they did is that the senior people at Capcom gave these younger, smaller developers and says, go make a game with your youth and your ideas and your viewpoints on the world or this and that or whatever. And you know what I mean? And like all that young energy, go make a game, go put it in a game. And they did. And god damn it, did they ever succeed. And they should be getting nothing but praise. You know what I mean? That's what should be happening. But no. No. The internet's got an internet. And then they got to stick their nose into something that's so beautiful and positive for these people that now Capcom is like banning and blocking people all over Twitter and all over Reddit. And why? I'm not going to get into all the gory details because I'm sure you guys know about some of it. But I'll tell you about some of the stuff that I've seen. There was the big famous one. Well, famous. It was famous enough because it went viral. All these people like screenshotted it. The guy got banned immediately from Reddit. Capcom blocked him as well. And I hope he gets booted. I hope his whole IP gets booted right off the internet, period. No ifs, ands, or buts. And he probably should get looked into by some form of authority figure. That's just me. And
welcome to hell.
He's complaining. You ready for this? He's complaining because there's some areas or whatever where like Diana's like going up a ladder or whatever. And he's complaining because her legs and like the bottom of like the big bulky jacket that she's wearing, the rest of it is not developed. It's just black. So like you just see her legs and then you see her jacket. And they're like, well, you should be, I'm not going to tell you everything he said. I'm just going to give you the gist of it. You guys can understand. And he's like, oh, well, you can't see everything. It's not developed there, and that's not realistic or whatever. And then he said something about whatever. And I'm just like, dude, somebody, like, literally just call somebody. Maybe you need a couch to lie down on. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by a couch to lie on, I don't mean to lie down on and watch reruns of Daredevil. I mean lie down on a couch and talk to a therapist. Yeah, you guys, Jay Silver, you saw that? Yeah. Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, she's here herself. Asha Sharp is here. Asha Sharp in the chat. There it is. She goes, Asha Sharp. She goes, the Mag, do you need a hug? I always need a hug. Hugs are very good for your heart, they're good for your soul, and they're good for your mind. Asha Sharma, ladies and gentlemen, she gets another one. Yeah, some dudes have serious problems. Yeah, it's true. Can you imagine if that actually was Asha Sharma? How funny would that be? How funny would that be? I mean, it might. I doubt it. But that would be funny. Can you imagine, like, I bump into her in LA, like, I'll be there with Colt and stuff, and we're hanging out, and then she's there and shakes my hand. You know, maybe, I don't know if she does the handshaking thing, because, like, you know, everybody's shaking hands. You don't want to touch everybody's germs and stuff. Not me. My hands, listen, man, I was an executive chef for almost 30 years. Let me tell you something. My hands are the cleanest hands on earth. That's why my hands look like snakeskin. The reason why they look like snakeskin is because I wash them 65 times a day. Even now that I'm not cooking professionally anymore, I still wash my hands 65 times a day because, you know, try to beat that out of your head. You know what I'm saying? And watch, anyway, I meet her and say hello. Hey, nice to meet you. Hey, you're doing a great job. I really like what you're doing and whatever. And she goes, oh, yeah, I watch your show. And I'd be like, you know what? I'm like, with all the stuff that I say on the show, not against Xbox, I'm just saying all the stuff that I say that's totally inappropriate. But anyway, that would be totally wild. Well, anyway, there you go. There you go. You got a rare. Asha Sharma just got a rare achievement, 100 achievement points for Lauren Game Pass. We'll talk about that later. So anyways, that guy was talking about that horrible stuff that I had just mentioned, right? He got banned and whatever else. And some people were actually supporting what he was saying. And I'm like, you guys are seriously sick in the head, man. You guys got some serious problems. This is beyond Gooner stuff, like, you know, where people are like, oh, the Stellar Blade. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, you know, I played the game too, and I loved it. I put great costumes on her. It was nice to look at, whatever else. And I'm not watching cosplay on Pornhub about it or something stupid like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not ridiculous. But this is a whole new level of ridiculous because what this represents is not a grown-ass adult. Okay? And that's where the problem is. And the problem is that the people like actively supporting it is even worse. Now, there's the other side of it. Now, I'm going to present all sides of this. There's another side of this where people were talking about, well, she is being overly sexualized because she's got her, her bare legs and then just a jacket. So therefore, the implication is that she's wearing nothing underneath it. And I'm like going, oh my God in heaven, who thinks like this? Never once. Now, by the way, just so you guys know, I'm playing the game with the channel. I only did one part. I will be doing part 2 and part 3 on the channel. But privately, I've also been like exploring and playing on my own outside of streaming on the channel, right? Never once in all the hours that I've put in this game has that ever crossed my mind. Oh! What's up, Desert Cruiser? How you doing? Never once has that thought, any of those thoughts that I just mentioned, never once has that crossed my mind. Not only because I'm a father of 2 beautiful children, one of them being a girl. It's not because of that. It's because I'm a well-balanced human being. Well, at least as much as I can be. At least well-adjusted. Like, why? How does this cross people's minds? Have people lost their minds? And then, not only that, hold on, then it gets better. That's just one thing. I'm going to not talk about that anymore because I don't want to talk about that anymore because that stuff makes me sick to my stomach. I don't want to talk about that. I just wanted to bring it up to give you guys an example of some of this crazy discourse that's happening around this game, which is crazy to me. Now, there's the other side of the fence. There's a lot of people that are saying, oh, well, they're running with this flag of, on top of all that, this game is promoting, they made this game on purpose in order to promote traditional family values of like a father and a wife and children and this and that. And I'm like going, I see what you're saying, but And listen, I don't understand how people think that they made that game on purpose for that reason. maybe you could extrapolate that from your thoughts and say, okay, well, I see what's happening here in this story and everything else, and it's not promoting anything. It's just a story. You know what I mean? It's just a story. Why can't you just accept it as a great video game and with a wonderful, heartfelt story? Why do you have to pick it apart for some culture war nonsense? And then you've got these streamers out there. They're like, and then there's these articles saying like, streamers out there, female streamers, women streamers out there are saying that the game is actually making them want to, procreate and have children and this and that. And now and I'm like, oh my God, that's fine that you may have those feelings. Women and men have those maternal and paternal feelings when it comes to procreating. It's literally ingrained in our minds and in our DNA in order to reproduce, in order to keep the human race moving forward. I get all that. The Souza, how you doing? We're going to talk about that a little later. What's up, Necron? How you doing? I'm talking about this Pragmata bullshit with all these people that can't, they can't just sit still with it. You can't just enjoy a game for what it is. You got to overanalyze it. They've got to politicize it. They've got to turn it. They got to turn it into. What's up, Broke Boy? How you doing, bud? I know you. Thank you for stopping by, Joey Phantom. How are you? Yeah, no, Joey Phantom. Trust me, I'm with you, dude. It's kind of creeping me out too, but I got to talk about it. But people got to politicize everything. They got to turn it into a culture war. They got to turn it into like all this other stuff. Can't you just enjoy a video game for what it is? Can't you just enjoy a video game for what it is and the story and say, that was a great story. Thank you very much, Capcom. And that's all there is to it. Wrap it up, roll credits, get your platinums, get your 1,000 achievement points if you're into that stuff, whatever. Give it a great score, hope for a sequel, and just move on. You know what I mean? But no, gotta politicize everything, gotta turn it into a war. Somehow it's gonna be like a Orange Man's fault, and this, that, and then this guy's fault, and the other side's fault, and the left side's fault, and the right side's fault, and everything else. Just stop. Please just stop. It's just a video game with a very simple story. And it's a great story. And it's a lot of fun. Great graphics, great gameplay, great story. Music, not so good. The music is like a 5 out of 10. It's not really all that impressive. But my review's coming out for that probably early next, later this week or early next week. I'm going to be doing my review on Pragmata. Probably I'm going to drop it on Monday. So you know what I mean? Because I do marinated reviews. You guys know how I roll with that. And like that's the part of the internet that really starts to piss me off is that why can't you just enjoy something for what it is? Why do you got to turn movies into this? Why do you have to turn books into this? Why are people burning books and doing all this crazy stuff you see on the internet? Stop. Just enjoy art for what it is and leave it alone. You know what I mean? That's all I have to say about it. And it's just, there are people out there, listen, we're not going to be able to get rid of the nastiness and the negativity that's on the internet. It's never going to happen. It's always going to be there. Because like I said before, and I also say in the video that I'm releasing tomorrow, is that once you cut off one head and you block somebody, it's like a Hydra. 2 more heads come up and replace it. There's no way to do it. But the only way you can combat this insanity and moronic behavior and thought processes that people have, do yourself a favor. Just ignore them. And I mean them specifically. I don't mean the subject. You can talk about this. We're talking about the subject right now. But you can ignore them. Don't give them the attention. Don't give them specific people. Don't give them the time of day. Block them, move on, and that's all there is to it. I do that here. I don't really block many people here. I've blocked a few who've been really overly aggressive and angry and, the death threats and all that stuff. You know how that goes. It's just a part of you want to be on YouTube, you want to be in a public figure, that you're going to have to deal with that shit. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. Anyway, that's fine. You deal with that. You just move on with it, right? Twitter, I blocked hundreds of people on Twitter who were just like, and like I said, I give people chances. Like there was that guy who comes in here once in a while. He was here the last couple of, hey, what's up, Creative Vibes? How you doing? He was in here a couple of chats. He'll probably show up here tonight. Knights of the Xbox Realm. He says nasty things about me in the chat, but nothing like that. Like I would be like, clutch my pearls, and I wouldn't be able to sleep tonight. Father Alex is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins, go to confession, And make sure you do your rosary. If he says 10, if Father Alex says you do 10 Hail Marys, you do 10 Hail Marys. And you don't question the man. Cyber Gunter, I blocked Colt Eastwood a long time ago, okay?
Yeah!
Just because we do a show together doesn't mean we're friends. Of course we're friends. If he shows up in the chat tonight, I should time him out, though. Anyways, that's all I had to talk about Pragmata. I've had enough of that shit. People have just lost their minds. They've lost the plot, and people have gone crazy. So you know what we're going to do? Now that we've talked about it, I know the video's coming out tomorrow. I want you guys to support the video. Go check it out. Okay, I'm not peddling that bullshit. I'm just saying. Just go check it out. Once the video's done, agree with it, disagree with it, whatever, let's move on. And you know what we're going to do? All we're going to do is we're going to talk about Pragmata and how awesome of a game it is. That's all I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Sons of Asgard is in the house. That's what I'm talking about. There you go. Brandon, I don't even know if I said hi to you yet, but I'm saying hi to you now. There was someone else in the chat that I saw that I didn't... oh, Legendary. How you doing, buddy? Go Flyers. All right. Go Flyers. Let's go. Anyways... fantastic game. It's currently sitting at a 9 out of 10 for me. I adore it. I encourage anybody who's interested in action, sort of, I don't know what you call it, like an action adventure kind of game. If you're into that kind of thing, you're going to love Pragmata. It is now creeping in as one of my favorite games of 2026. Right now, the 3 games that have that spot, you've got number 1 has still, I mean, which is funny, Capcom, again, Resident Evil Requiem is still my favorite game of 2026, closely followed by Crimson Desert, and then now, all of a sudden, Pragmata comes out, and guess what? Pragmata has now taken second place over Crimson Desert. I've moved Crimson Desert to third place, and no slight against the game, it's just, to me, specifically to me, it is my kind of game, and I'm really enjoying the hell out of it. Now, one more little tidbit of information. I talked to you guys about it last week, speaking of Capcom. I had mentioned it last week or the week before. Maybe it was the week before. I talked about how Onimusha may drop in 2026. Well, lo and behold, about a week later, someone got a hold of me and be like, Mag, you were 100% right. And I'm like, well, I mean, I just heard that it was coming. It wasn't really from me, but I heard about it. That it was coming this year. And turns out that Capcom is confirming that Onimusha is coming out in 2026. Now we've got a battle on our hands, folks. We've got a battle on our hands for Publisher of the Year. We got to see how these games score. Now, a lot of people are already calling for Capcom being Publisher of the Year. Fine. You know, they had the Monster Hunter game, they got Resident Evil Requiem, and they got Pragmata. All 3 knock out of the park home runs. Absolutely amazing games, right? Great. Now they got Onimusha, and I expect Onimusha to hit in the mid to high 80s on top of that. So now you got that game coming. You got the Onimusha game coming out. Holy jeez, man! Like, these guys are up there. Now the only contender that they've got, and we don't know yet, Mr. X, how you doing? Is that Microsoft hasn't released a single game yet, but they're about to, starting in a month, right? And as a result of that, I think it's going to be a head-to-head battle for Microsoft and Capcom getting Publisher of the Year. Now, if it were up to them, Ion Storm, you are a hardcore maggot buddy for life. What's up, AKL? How you doing? Mr. X Scorpio? We're going to call you Mr. Scorpio. 6 months is a sweet spot. Keep that thought in mind. We're going to talk about that when we talk about the Gamepass thing. It's going to be a head-to-head battle between Microsoft and Capcom for Publisher of the Year. Now, this is also assuming that all the Xbox games stick the landing. I expect them to. Because these are the flagship titles. These are the ones that usually rate well, that play well, and I expect Gears of War E-Day to be absolutely amazing. I think it'll score in the high 80s. We've got Forza Horizon 6. I believe it's going to score in the high 80s. The only wild cards out there right now is I think that Modern Warfare 4 is going to be a very good Call of Duty game. I just got a gut feeling. I don't have any inside information on it. I just think it's going to, my gut tells me it's going to be a vast improvement over Black Ops 7. So I'm excited for Modern Warfare 4. I think that's going to be very good. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, folks. I have a lot to talk about in that subject. So now we're going to doing that. Oh, yeah, I'll touch on that, Magnum. Yeah, absolutely. What's up, Ender Rising? How you doing, man? So I think that Xbox is going to stick the landing with no, the other one, the only outlier now is Fable. That's the only outlier. I trust Playground Games, but what I've seen so far, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Listen, I tell my truth. I'm not saying it's the truth. It's my truth. All those games look awesome. Well, I mean, we haven't seen a shred of gameplay of Gears, but I have absolute faith in what the Coalition is doing. I have no doubt it's going to be an absolute banger. I didn't think Fable showed very well. When the developer direct, I wasn't impressed. And the funny thing is, I showed it to my wife, who's a huge Fable fan. She played all of them, and she goes, yeah. She goes, looks all right. She goes, doesn't look great. She's like, and then the funny thing, she said the same thing that I was thinking. She goes, Hogwarts Legacy looked better. And I'm like, well, but again, let's pump the brakes, folks. Let's not start the hate train before it stops at the station. Okay? We have to wait till this game comes out. Now, when they say autumn, it could still mean December. I still think it's going to be after GTA 6. So it'll be somewhere in like late November, early December, or maybe even mid-December, because that's still considered autumn, right? They got a lot of time to work on this thing. It could be absolutely amazing when it comes out. But either way, with those other games that they've got coming that we know about that I think are going to score incredibly well, it's going to be a head-to-head battle between Capcom and Microsoft for Publisher of the Year. What do you guys think? And, oh, Dova, my wife did point it out. Yes, he goes, didn't your wife point out the feminine walk on the guy? Yeah, and that's what prompted the video. And I remember when she's watching the video, she's looking at it, she goes, why is that dude walking like a chick? And I swear to God she said that because that's how my wife talks. She goes, why does the dude walk like a chick? And I'm like going, oh my God. And then I realized they just painted over the female character because I don't think they had any, they had any intention of, or it was just a quick paced job because I don't think they had intention of having a character creation in like a very deep one or whatever, right? So I don't know. Geppetto, he says, why do you like Resident Evil so much? I love it because it's got great atmosphere, great stories. I love the settings of them. I'm a fan of classic horror. And when I mean by classic horror, I don't mean like 80s slashers or even 70s, like, 70s religious horrors. I'm talking like 1940s, 1950s Vincent Price style gothic horror movies. And Resident Evil hits all of those vibes. Dude looks like a lady. And so because of those vibes that Resident Evil gives off, all of those, and of course the gameplay. I love the gameplay. I love the gameplay loop. I love the mechanics. I love everything about it. And I always have a bit in the music. Everything about Resident Evil just screams those vintage classic horror vibes to it. And that's why I cling on so much to it. And like I said, at the end of the day, it's also a fantastic video game. I hope that answers your question, Geppetto. So anyways, turns out Onimusha is coming out this year. And I'm going to be right there day one. Right here on this channel, we're going to be playing Onimusha day one right here on this channel. And like I said, we got a head-to-head battle. Thank you, Geppetto. Appreciate it. We got a head-to-head battle for Microsoft and Capcom as Publisher of the Year. No one else is releasing as many games as they are. And on top of that, presumably the quality. We already know that Capcom's released 3 quality games and they got a 4th, which we have to wait and see how it turns out. Microsoft, we still have to wait. They haven't released any of those games yet, but they will. They got 5 of them coming, right? So, yeah, it's a whole thing, man. It's going to be wild. What do you guys think? No, I'm not going to put up a poll in the chat. I'm not going to waste anybody's time with that. What do you guys think? Microsoft or Capcom? Who do you think is going to get that award this year? And I know it's very early to say. We're going to revisit this conversation in November, folks, okay? And I will put up a poll in November and to say, listen, what's what we're going to do? We're going to put up the poll, we're going to talk about it, and whatever else, and that's all there is to it. By the way, I did not forget, speaking of Fable, I did not forget that I still have all of the comments or whatever and who nails the date the closest. I still have that, and the winner of that, whoever got the closest date, is going to get a free copy of Fable from me. You won't need Game Pass for it, regardless of the price decrease. You won't need Game Pass. I will be buying that game for you. And remember, I have it all there. I have it all there. Ghostbusters saying Rockstar. Yes, Brock Carney, do not do that. Do not do that. Brock Carney in the chat saying has never played Resident Evil before. Would it be a crime to start playing Resident Evil with Requiem? Yes, it would. Do yourself a favor, dude. I know you're on Xbox because you were talking about Xbox earlier. I believe some of those games are on Game Pass, and if you have Game Pass, just go play them. Start with the Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 3 remake, and then go to the Resident Evil 4 remake, and then move up from there. Then you can go 5. You don't have to do 6. Then you can go 7, 8, and then Requiem. But you have to play those other ones because it ties in directly into those stories, and you're going to be a little bit lost. You'll follow it along. Like, you'll be like, okay, I kind of get what's happening. But you won't get the impact. Bobby, as far as we know, they're still saying that Fable's coming out this year. Yes. Oh, there you go. Ender Rising in the chat saying the egos. Play the oldies first. The Resident Evil 2 remake, by the way, the graphics in these games and the remakes that they just came out with, like, whatever, 5 years ago, 6 years, they look like they came out yesterday. And they play like they came out yesterday. So you're not missing out on any of that. So if you actually put... Oh my God, Ghostbusters, you never know. Like, can you imagine if they actually delayed Fable into 2027? You might actually win because you're the only person I believe that put in 2027. I'll have to go back and check my records. I've got it all there. I've got all the proof. And we're going to have to wait and see. But if it goes into 2027, Ghostbusters might win by default just because he got the year. So anyways, Brock Carney, check it out. You might actually get it in, I think Resident Evil 2 and 3 Remake were in Game Pass. I'm not sure if they're still there. I'm not sure. RPG! Sorry, I have to do that every time RPG shows up in the chat. What's up, Culture Origins? How you doing, bud? Oh, Culture Origins, he says, Killed will stop Xbox for Publisher of the Year. Oh, that's funny. I have no intention of playing that game. I just looked at it. I'm like, okay. I'm like, it's fine. Go do it. I'm not gonna shit all over anybody who's gonna go play it. Go play it. It's just nah. Listen, man. There are too many quality games out there. There are too many quality games out there. Jay Silver, we did it a while back. Like we did it after the developer direct, and I gave like a 2 or 3 week like a timeline, and I'm like, you guys got to get your entries in there, and everybody had the cutoff date, and I put in the entries, and then that's it. It's closed. But don't worry, I'll be doing more giveaways. I'll be doing more game giveaways in the future. Don't worry about that. But that one I thought was a fun one. I thought that'd be fun. If they delay it to 2028, then nobody wins. No, I'm just kidding. Whoever's in 2027 would win by default. It's kind of like it's kind of like the what's it called? The Price is Right. Whoever got the closest wins no matter what. Even if it was in 2029. If you put 2027 and no one else did, you're winning. That's the way it goes. You know. All right, Geppetto, have a good night, man. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Anybody who's watching the show, hit that like button on your way out. Or on the way in. Do all that. I don't understand how people don't do that. You know what I do? Let me tell you something. And I'm not doing this. I'm not saying this just because of me. When I watch a show of people that I know that I'm watching whatever podcast or whatever video, the first thing I do is I hit the like button. I don't wait to watch the video and be like, all right, well, let me see if this guy impresses me today. No, I'm there to support the guy because if I'm sub to that guy's channel, whoever it is, I hit the like before I even watch the video. I don't care. I'm not gonna unlike the video if Colt Eastwood says something I don't like. Or not that I don't like. Is this something I don't agree with? I'll be like, oh, I don't feel the same way as Colt on that one. Let me unlike his video. What the fuck are you talking about? I hit like and move on. I watch the video. That's the way it goes. Listen, man, I'm Italian. Listen, we don't beat around the bush, okay? I'm just going to say it like it is. If you're watching the show, hit the like button. And that's it. I'm not going to ask you every 15 minutes like updating the weather on the news radio. I'm not going to do that. I don't do that here. Just hit the like button and just that's it. And if you don't like me, hit the dislike button. Noisy Mofo, if you hit it twice, then it goes off. There you go, Bobby. If you hit it 3 times, you're good. Because you did it on, you did it off, and you did it on again. Noisy Mofo, on the other hand, that's it. He just took away a like from me. Anyways. What about the bell, Mag? The bell! I know. Mag, if you need a like video confession, let me know. Yes, thank you, Father Alex. Father Alex, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get a sound just for him when he shows up in the chat, by the way. Alex, I guarantee by the next time we do MAGGCAST, I'm going to have a sound just for you. And let me tell you something right now, Father Alex. If you are ever pulling my chain and you actually aren't a priest, we're going to have a problem. Because I know the big guys, I know them personally, all right? I'm watching. Magnum, he says, I hit the dislike button within 3 seconds of Dreamcast guy video. Let me tell you something. You know what's funny about that, Magnum? Do you know that if you hit the dislike button, it actually gives them the same metrics as if you hit the like button? Did you know that? Oh, Dova, there you go. There it is. There he is.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Dova says, I only dislike videos if the YouTuber is bald.
What an idiot.
What do you say that for?
Oh, what a loser.
Oh my God. Dova, you're too funny, man. Good, Father Alex, good. I'm glad to see that you're an actual priest. So I'd be super pissed if you weren't. Can you imagine if, like, he wasn't? He was just, like, pulling my chain for, like, weeks and weeks and weeks, and I'd be like, oh, my God, dude. That'd be a big problem. I would speak to the Lord and say, like, hey, listen, man, we got a problem. There's a guy down here. I need you to, you know, do something. Send a few ghosts to his house or something and scare him. Send an angel and lie to him and tell him that the world is ending and you have to prepare. And then the angel goes back up and everybody starts laughing. They're like, he fell for it. Sorry, this is what happens in my brain, okay? My brain's insane. Insane in the membrane indeed, folks. Anyways, enough bullshit. Let's get down to the big topic. Now, before we get back to down to the big topic, y'all know how it goes. I've been drinking water like a maniac. Look at this flowery glass. I know Magnum's going to love this. Beautiful glass. This is a 2-pint glass. I know it doesn't look like it, but look at it next to my head, okay? That's a 2-pint glass. I've drank like 3 of those. Before I even, well, 2.5. 2.5 before I even started the show. Well, you know what that means, folks. It means, yeah, RPG, we're going to talk about that right now. I'm just going to take a 1-minute break because I gotta use the loo. And then as soon as I get back, we're going to be talking about Asha Sharma and the big moves that were made today and the implications that it has for the future of Xbox, the future of Xbox Game Pass. And we're going to talk about the positives and we're going to talk about some of the negatives. And I want the chat to get involved and I want y'all to not be shy because I know you're not shy. So you tell me everything that you guys feel about this entire situation as we break down the biggest topic that has hit the airwaves this week so far. I mean, the week is young, so a lot can happen between now and Friday, but we're going to have to wait and see. Either way, I will be back in just 1 minute. Don't go anywhere. If I see that number drops, what it already did. It dropped down 3 viewers in the last like 10 seconds. Get those numbers back up to 141 viewers or I'm going to get super pissed off. And Asha Sharma, if you're still here, call some of your friends. Tell Matt Booty to tune in. All right, I'll be right back. All right. I'm back. It went down another 4 viewers. I want you guys to find out who they are. And I want names and addresses. I'm going to have a little visit. We'll have a little chat. I'll bring Father Alex with me for a little bit of extra backup. You know what I'm talking about? That's what's going on.
Stupid fucking game.
That's right. Maybe I'll get Furio to show up as well. Break a few golf clubs. You know what I'm talking about?
Fucking game.
Of course I washed my hands, CDB. Of course I did. Now, let's get into this situation. I'm going to change the timestamp on this one to 1:32. By the way, if you guys didn't know by now, I know I already said it, but my show is not only on YouTube, but we are also on Spotify now. MAGGCAST is on Spotify, so you can watch it or listen to it there as well. Okay, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the situation. So this morning it was around noon, I guess, my time. About 9 o'clock in the morning, of course, Pacific time. Which would be Xbox time, I guess, because they're on the West Coast, right? Coldest 3 hours behind me. That's a Seattle thing, whatever. So, anyways, Asa Sharma said this on Twitter. She said, Game Pass Ultimate has become too expensive for too many players. Starting today, we're dropping the price from $29.99 to $22.99 a month. That's a drop of $7. Sorry, $6. $6? I don't know. Whatever. No, $7. What the fuck am I talking about? $7. Yeah. Future Call of Duty titles will no longer join Game Pass Ultimate on day one. They will join this tier the following holiday after launch, about a year later. I have some things about that. We'll talk about that later. Current Call of Duty titles will remain available to Ultimate subscribers. We'll keep learning and evolving Game Pass to better match what matters to players. Okay, so that's what she said. Now, at the same time, or it was like 18, 17 minutes later, something like that, whatever. Xbox Wire posted this. I'll read the entire thing verbatim. I'm not pulling it up on the screen because I'm not going to waste everybody's time trying to read small print. It's stupid. Okay, so starting today, Game Pass Ultimate drops from $29.99 to $22.99 a month. PC Game Pass is something that Asha did not mention in her tweet. PC Game Pass is dropping from $16.49 to $13.99. So that's a $2.50 drop. A month. Prices may vary by region, of course, obviously with the dollar exchange and all that kind of stuff. Beginning this year, future Call of Duty titles won't join Game Pass Ultimate or PC Game Pass at launch. New Call of Duty games will be added to Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass during the following holiday season, about a year later, while existing Call of Duty titles already in the library will continue to be available. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers will continue to have access to access to hundreds of games on Xbox console. Blah, 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 the same old corpo speak. Unlimited Xbox cloud gaming and major day one releases. You can find out more details. Blah blah blah. Our players cover a wide breadth of geographies, preferences, and tastes. So while there isn't a single model that's best for everyone, this change responds to a lot of feedback we've gotten so far. We'll continue to listen and learn. There you go. Okay, so those are the two posts that were put up today about this Xbox Game Pass situation. If you're on PC, it's a no-brainer. I mean, $13.50. We're not going to go with this bullshit of $13.49, okay? We're just going to call it $13.50, okay? Let's not waste our time here. It was $30 for Ultimate on Xbox. It's now $23, okay? We're going to keep it nice and simple. Nice round numbers. I don't need to go $29.99, $22.99. It messed up in my head with all the mathematics. So anyways, what we're doing is it's a $7 drop on the Xbox, which was huge because that is where there was a lot of it lacking. The biggest problem with the Xbox is that it was well, not with Xbox. The biggest problem was Xbox because people like that was just getting too egregious. It's gotten to a point where like people are like, well, what the hell is the problem? You know, what are we even doing here? And that's where a lot of people started migrating over to PC. What do they call them? Xbox refugees or whatever the hell they call them in the community. I've seen that posted a couple times. They call them that. And they just leave and go, forget it, I'm going to PC. I get free online. I can get PC Game Pass for literally half the price or whatever. And so they were just doing that. Right? I get it. Now, let's talk about the good. The good is, by lowering this price, yes, you're listening to a lot of people out there. There were a ton of people out there. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled that people saying, nobody asked for Call of Duty. There were a lot of people up until today saying Call of Duty needs to be pulled out of Game Pass and lower the price. It was all over Twitter, all over Reddit, and all over YouTube, all over podcasts. I heard it from anybody. I've heard it from everybody. And I know everybody who said it. I don't know everybody who said it, but I know a lot of them who said it. So if anybody turns back on that, I see you. I know who you are. I'm not going to call you out. I'm not. That's not the kind of channel I do here. But you know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of people were calling for that. So was she lying? No. Was Xbox Wire being untruthful, saying we got a lot of feedback? No, they weren't, because there were a ton of people who didn't want it there. They didn't want Call of Duty, right? So you lower the price by $7, you remove Call of Duty. Well, there's a payoff there. Now, the interesting thing is that we're going to deal with American funds, by the way. Someone asked me if I can find out what's going on. Yeah, this is all American funds, CDB. So in Canada, it's $26.99 plus tax. It works out to $30 Canadian now. So it's $10 cheaper. Necron, Xbox Asylum Seekers. Necron, I never pulled out. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. So what you've done here is you've listened to the feedback that a lot of people were giving. So you acted on it. But here's the payoff. Here's the thing. Here's where it kind of balances out if you actually want it. Like if you want a Call of Duty day one, you want Modern Warfare day one, you're going to buy it, right? You're going to have to buy it now. It's not going to be on Game Pass anymore. However, with that $84 in savings that you're getting, like I said, I'm going to be talking in American funds just because it's so much easier than having to talk about Australian money and Canadian money and the euro and the British pound and then of course the U.S. dollar. We're just going to stick with the U.S. dollar and call it a day, okay? Even though I'm not in the U.S., but it's just easier. So here's the thing: you're saving $84 a year now, okay? Ronaldo, how you doing, buddy? What did you say? $30 is still expensive. Absolutely it is. Absolutely. I'm not going back to Game Pass. Ronaldo, to be quite honest. And it's not because I'm like I'm not doing that. I'm not interested, and I said this in my video earlier today, by the way. I'm not interested in every single game that Microsoft makes. I don't really care for many Bethesda games. I like some of them. I don't like all of them. And like I'm not going to like every game that Xbox comes out with. This year, a little different. Right? This year's a little different because they've got 5 flagship titles coming out this year. I'm interested in all of those games. I love Forza. I love Halo. I love Gears. I love Fable. And I love Call of Duty. So you're hitting the mark with 5 games this year. Fine. Right? On top of the other games that come out, they have deals and this and that or whatever. And the indie games and everything else, the AA games. And of course, whatever, like games that Ubisoft and EA drop in there as well. I'm not talking about those. I'm just talking about the first party games. Right? So I'm not interested in every single game that Microsoft releases. And that's totally fine. Everybody has their opinions and everybody has their tastes. Like that'd be like me attacking somebody because they don't like jazz. I love jazz. I love classical music. I love opera. I love heavy metal. I love thrash. I love hardcore hip-hop. Not that pussy mumble shit they do today. I'm talking about real hardcore hip-hop. You know what I mean? I love all that stuff. But am I going to beat someone over the head because they say they don't like jazz? No. That's my opinion. I don't like all the Xbox games that come out. Not always my cup of tea. Therefore, that being the case, I will hand pick and choose whichever games I want to buy from Xbox or Microsoft, whatever you want to call them. And I will buy them as I please. And in the end of the day, I will still be saving more money than I would have if I had subscribed to Game Pass, even now with the dollar drop. So I look at it that way. This year, I'm taking a bit of a hit, but that's because I'm buying a lot of those games because my wife wants to play them on PlayStation because she doesn't own an Xbox anymore. She only owns PlayStation. So any games that I'm going to be buying outside of Forza Horizon 6, I will be playing that solo on Xbox because my wife is not interested in racing at all. I'm the racing fan, not her. So I will be playing that on Xbox solo. But all those other games, Halo, Gears, Call of Duty, and Fable, I will be buying those on PlayStation at full price because my wife wants to play it. We game share, right? Fine. So I take a hit this year. But next year, I don't know how many games are going to be coming out that I'm actually interested in playing. Blade is one of them for sure. State of Decay 3, I didn't like State of Decay 1 or 2. I didn't like those games at all. And that's just my personal opinion. And I'm a zombie fan, but I'm not interested in resource gaming. I fucking hate that shit. Okay? I don't want to have to go out there and get granola bars because the guy's starving over the year. I know some people love that stuff. They love resource management in video games. No, I'm not there to do that. I do that in real life, okay? I've done it for decades in real life. I don't want to do it in my video games. That's like having, like, if you're an accountant and, you know, if you're an accountant, are you going to go play accountant the video game when you're done work? No. So I don't want to do resource management. Anyways, the point is, let's get back to this. You now have options, okay? And the thing is this. If you don't like Call of Duty and you didn't want Call of Duty, well, now you're in luck because now you're going to pay $84 less per year. You've saved $84 a year on Game Pass. Now, the other thing is, if you do like Call of Duty, it's no different than what you're paying now. You might save $10. This is under the assumption that Call of Duty is $70. I don't think that Call of Duty is going to be $70 this year. I think it's going to be, hey, Lav, how you doing, bud? I think Call of Duty is going to be an $80 game this year. And don't tell me I'm full of shit because they've already tried with Outer Worlds 2 last year. Take-Two tried it with Borderlands 4 last year. And when people started to push back, Nintendo is already doing it. Oh, they were doing it with some of the first party. You know what I mean? $80 games. That precedent is coming, folks. Slowly but surely. Anybody old enough to remember going to Blockbuster Video when it was all VHS tapes? And there was a tiny little column that had DVDs? What happened over time? That tiny column turned into a shelf. That shelf turned into a wall. That wall turned into two walls. Those two walls turned into the entire friggin' store. And they're trying that right now with this $80 game thing. Now, here's the thing. Let's just say, for argument's sake, it's $70. Okay? They keep the price at $70. Great, everybody's happy, right? Well, then you buy the game for $70 plus tax, whatever tax you pay in whatever state you live in. Like I said, we're talking American dollars here, not Canadian dollars, okay? Well, then you save $10. So now you're getting your Game Pass Ultimate, plus you got your Call of Duty, plus you got your $10. It's not a huge amount of money, but it's a positive amount of money, right? Are we right? Okay, cool. Now, let's move on to what I presume that it's going to be $80. I think I may be completely wrong, okay? And you guys can be the first to tell me.
Idiot. Oh, what a loser.
You can clown on me all you want. But my gut feeling tells me that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 is going to be the start of $80 games, followed closely by GTA 6. Therefore, at that point, you still haven't lost anything. So if you do that right now, $80 plus your tax, whatever, there's your $84. It's a wash. Okay? It's a wash. So therefore, in that respect, it's no different than what you're paying now. You get it? The only difference is that you get to keep Call of Duty forever, whatever, right? So there really isn't, in that respect, really isn't much change. Right? So there's no change to it. Sounds good. It's a good, it's got a good, nice ring to it. But for people who don't want Call of Duty, or people who are on the fence about it, or maybe they're fine waiting a whole year for it, go ahead. If you want to wait a whole year for it, then that's cool too. Save your $84. By the time that Call of Duty comes out and you're on your second year of Game Pass, you've saved $168. And you can buy it for half price by then, right? Because then the next Call of Duty is coming out. Now, the only other thing is, by the time it actually shows up in Game Pass the following year, the game is dead. Okay? That's a big negative. That's a problem. Gunler, Game Pass on Roku when? JD Spaff, how you doing? So here's the other thing. Now let's get into something else here. Okay. By the time you put that game in Game Pass, it's dead. Sure, you could go play the campaign or whatever, have some fun with it. Very few people are going to be playing the multiplayer at that point. Why? Because Call of Duty not only is a cyclical game, it comes out every 12 months. Generally. This year, it's going to be coming out within 11 months because the last one came out, Black Ops 7 came out in November. This one is most certainly coming out in October, not November this year because of GTA 6. So that being the case, it's an 11-year span, but generally it's a 1-year cyclical game, comes out once a year, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Call of Duty is usually hot for the first 90 days. After the 90 days, when Season 1 comes out and Season 2 comes out, that's it. The game's done. The hardcore stay there. The hardcore will continue to play there, right? But most of the casuals, which makes up most of the game, you got like 85% of the people that are the casuals out there who play it, they're done. After 90 days, it's over. They've moved on. They're not going back. So by the time, and then what ends up happening? By the time the next Call of Duty comes out, that one's dead. It's gone. It's gone forever. Sure, you can go back and you can go play Modern Warfare 1 from 2019. You can go play, was it 2019? I can't remember what year it was. I think it was 2019 when Modern Warfare 1 came out. You can go back and play that. Great, whatever. But I mean, like, what are those lobbies like? I mean, are they going to be full? I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's a dedicated community of people out there, but it's not the same. It's not the same, right? You can play the campaign. The campaign is wonderful, by the way. If you haven't played the Modern Warfare 1 reboot from 2019, if you haven't played that campaign, it is stellar. I loved that game. Loved it, right? So now you're in a situation where by the time it does go to this subscription service, the game is dead. So that's an L. If you're not a fan of Call of Duty, this is a big W, right? Because now you're saving $84 a year. If you are a fan of Call of Duty and you buy the game and you're still subscribed to the service, well, then nothing has changed. So there really is nothing to the only thing really to celebrate about, if you really think about it this way, one thing that you can celebrate across the board is that you have a choice now. That is an option. At least it's an option. So you've given people an option. You've not taken anything away, so to speak. You did, but you didn't. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like it's a gray area. You removed Call of Duty, sure. But by lowering that price, now you could buy it, and it's the same as you were paying right now. Right? So it's a wash. But at least it's an option. You're given an option. You can either not buy it at all and save your $84. You could buy it, and it'll be the same price as you're paying now. Or you could wait a year, but that comes with its caveats and its problems too. You see what I'm saying? So, but at least it's an option. Jacob is saying the Modern Warfare servers is still popping unless you run into an infected lobby. All right, well, that's good to hear. Fuzzy Tomato says old CODs are still selling decently well, so I don't really agree with that. Fair enough. That they will be a better draw for Game Pass than most year-old games at least. Fair. If you want to stay 1 year behind on it and you don't have that FOMO, then that's awesome for you. Jay Slayer? Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. What he's saying is there he goes, I don't think people said to remove COD from PC Game Pass or touch PC Game Pass at all, and it only lowered the price by like $30 for the year, so it costs more with COD. Yes, it does. Yeah, the PC thing is a whole different situation. Mastermind, what is he saying? Remove day and date entirely. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people call for that too. Now, I think, to me personally, here's the thing though. Someone in the chat a little bit earlier talked about 6 months being the sweet spot. I agree with that personally. Like on a personal level, I agree with that. But Microsoft will never do that. And I'll tell you why they'll never do that. Because at that point, they know people are going to wait. Because 6 months is not a long time to wait. A year definitely is. And if the FOMO is there and the game is hot and everybody's talking about it again, it's going to be hard to ignore it for an entire year. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're prone to playing first-person shooters, especially online competitive shooters, right? Now there's another situation I want to talk about before I hand this over to the audience and see what you guys are talking about, and then we'll discuss back and forth, is this. And I want to ask this question first. I don't believe it. I mean, I'll believe it if I see it. Okay? That's all I'm going to say there. I'll believe it if I see it happen. Then we'll take it from there. Do you guys think, and I've heard some people talk about it, and it's fair to have the opinion. I'm not gonna disagree. I'm not gonna say anything negative about it anyway. But some people have said that this may be setting a precedent for the future. Do you see them removing one by one all these other big games that if they cost too much, like they're saying, oh well, Fable cost us $300 million because of X, Y, and Z or whatever. It took all these number of years plus the labor and Is that going to be a precedent set forward that if the game costs too much and it's too big of a title and it's a massive AAA title, do you see them there at that point? Do you see them saying, oh, you know what? We're going to have to pull this one out day and date because we need people to buy it. Well, that was kind of the whole point of Project Latitude, wasn't it? When you think about it that way, like the whole point of Project Latitude was to sell it on a console system that has 100 million consoles out there, so that you could make up for that way, right? So that's an argument you could say there, but I don't know. There's something there. Like some people are, people are talking about that, saying this may set a precedent for the future, and it might continue to go down in price, but you're not going to get day and date. It's going to turn into a Roku situation, you know what I mean? Or like a Netflix, the $5 level, the $5 tier where they're watching ads. I'm not saying ads are going to be in Game Pass, but you're going to remove that day and date, so there's always going to be some kind of a catch. You're not, it's not a free ride. Mistro, thanks for stopping by, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming by. So I want to ask you guys, do you think that maybe sets a precedent? Do you think that they might go down that road and saying, listen, man, we're going to have to pick and choose what games we decide to go day and date there? Or do they just go blanket across the board and continue doing what they're doing and then just remove Call of Duty and that was it? Because the other thing is, let's face it, they were talking about how they didn't lose the money, but they didn't make the money. So I guess technically they lost. When they talked about Black Ops 7, lost, potential money of $300 million. Or was that Black Ops 6? I can't remember which one it was. So there was a potential loss in earnings of up to $300 million, $300 million potential loss in money because of Call of Duty being in Game Pass. That obviously was a catalyst for this, on top of people complaining about the price hikes, right? But they've given you an option. Now you have an option. You can either buy the game and stay in Game Pass. You're still spending the same as you are now. If it's a $70 game, you're saving $10. If not, then it's a wash. You're paying what you're paying now. So there's no change for you. But if, like I said before, if you're not a Call of Duty player or you don't mind waiting a year, you saved $84. You can now buy another game with that. Right? You could buy a third-party game with that. That's something. I mean, that to me, that's not a bad thing. I don't see this as a bad thing. Joaquin, just thank you so much for subscribing, my friend. I see your name up there on the thing. And for our new subscriber, we got to do this, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Welcome to hell, Joaquin. KLZ is saying, make it even cheaper and get rid of the Fortnite crew and Cloud. I can tell you this. Cloud ain't going anywhere, and Cloud is very expensive. I know Hargeet talked about it. I talked about it. I had the figures. It was insane how much it cost. I don't have the figures in front of me anymore. But I got the numbers of how much it costs to run Cloud per user per day. It is fucking insane how much it costs. But if they're banking their future on Cloud, not just for gaming, but with the rest of the division of Microsoft, with the rest of the corporation of Microsoft and all their other divisions and all their other services that they offer, there's no way they'll get rid of Cloud. They are going to have a cheaper it's going to run cheaper. It's going to be a cheaper operating system. It's just going to get more efficient and better over time. Right now, it costs a lot of money. If you want to liken it to a product, think about it like this. When a DVD player came out, they were $2,000. Now you can get them for $25 at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that, like, it's the same thing when it comes to this technology. Technology is always incredibly expensive to start, and then it goes down in price as it becomes more efficient and it get better at it. And of course, they make better hardware in order to run that, and software, which requires less human interaction at that point. That's where AI comes in, AI implementation, in terms of the computing and in terms of running the programs. They don't need all that labor. That also costs a ton of money, right? The Cloud they'll never get rid of. Now, the thing is, the Fortnite crew and the Ubisoft Classics and the EA and stuff like that, I don't think those are going to go anywhere, because I believe that those things were negligible in cost to begin with, and I don't think that that's what drove up the price. I think they just put that in there to sweeten the deal. I think that the biggest problem that they had has always been, was, and always will be, Call of Duty. That is what was the real catalyst for the price hikes, on top of course, the unrealistic expectations of 30% profit margins on top of that. So those are just my feelings on it. Negan says Game Pass made Xbox popular, But you know what else made Xbox even more popular? Without Game Pass, an amazing console with fantastic games, and even money-hatted third-party deals that you could only play on Xbox, or they started on Xbox, Call of Duty map packs and all that kind of stuff, and it was called the Xbox 360. And they did not have Game Pass then. And the funny thing is, even the Xbox One was more popular than the series consoles, and they sold way more, almost double. I mean, up to this point. They've sold almost double Xbox Ones than they did this series consoles. It's shameful. It never should have happened. And that was before Game Pass. Yeah, Game Pass showed up in 2017, so about 3 years before the technical end of that generation. But the first 4 years of that, there wasn't Game Pass, and the games were selling fairly well over there. And at one point, the Xbox One was selling neck and neck with the PlayStation 4. At first, PlayStation 4 got the jump, then it evened out. And the only thing, you know what made PlayStation take off after at that point? Was when they started releasing those quality first-party games, your Uncharted 4s. Then it moved on to God of War. Then it moved on to, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, Last of Us 1 Remake, Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't have to go. I can go on and on and on all day, right? And then PlayStation just took off as it always does. And there it is, right? So, that being the case, they did have massive popularity. But that popularity was 2 generations ago and last generation. The first half of last generation. You know what didn't help? Not having compelling software. And not having compelling software that made people saying, God damn it, I need to buy an Xbox like today. Exclusives on the 360 is what sold me a 360 and got me in the ecosystem for 20 years. And I'm still in that ecosystem now. Because of one exclusive. One game sold me on an ecosystem and had me as a customer for 20 years. Isn't that what you want as a corporation? Yes, you do. Don't worry, I'll answer for you. Yes, you do. And it wasn't even an Xbox game. It was Dead Rising. You know what sold people on the OG Xbox? Halo, which wasn't even owned by Microsoft. It was a third-party game that was exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem made by Bungie. They did not own Bungie. Think about that. That was a system seller. If you want them to be as popular as what it is, you need to make system sellers. I have yet to see one this generation. Now, you can make arguments in saying that was a great game, this was a great game, that was a great game. I've played a lot of great games on Xbox this generation. A lot of them. 2 of them stand out to me particularly. Psychonauts 2. But that's not going to sell boxes. South of Midnight was my Xbox game of 2025. That's not going to sell boxes. They need something that hits the zeitgeist of the public conversation, something that hits the normies, something that everybody's talking about on the subway on the way to work, something that people are talking about in the schoolyards. They need that. When you got that, all the other stuff is just noise. It's all just corporate noise. People will come to you, but you got to bring them the fire. Now, the problem is because they've been sad sacking for this generation, it's not going to take one game anymore. Now it's going to take several because now you're going to have to create a trend and you're going to have to change people's public opinion that Xbox is doing quality work. That doesn't happen overnight anymore. If Sony fucks up a game or two or with this live service thing, has that affected them at all? I mean, they've lost millions of dollars from it. But I'm saying, has it affected their public image? No. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. It hasn't. Are they still the market leader? Yes. Why? Because they have a long-term proven track record of quality, right? And because that's already there, it's ingrained in people's minds. Xbox has to do the reverse of that. And the reverse of that is long-term quality moving forward. Now, the first thing that Asha's doing right now is she's changing the public image of Xbox. That's rule number 1. She's already working on that and doing a fantastic job of doing that. She is. She's doing a great job of that. She is building a foundation, as I said in my video earlier today, she is building a foundation of positivity around the Xbox name. That is your first goal. This year, you've got 2026, you've got a bunch of big AAA games that are coming out that I'm assuming are going to hit high 80s, maybe even in the 90s with Forza, who knows, right? So you set the precedence there with this year. However, after this year, you're not going to see another flagship title. You're not going to see another flagship title for another 5 to 7 years outside of Halo, because this actually doesn't really count as a Halo game. Mr. Namad just subscribed, ladies and gentlemen. And now that you're a maggot, I got this for you. Don't be shy, guys. Come say hi in the chat, man.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Welcome to hell, new subscribers. Welcome to hell. And if you're here lurking, say hi. What's up, Shabooks? How you doing, buddy? So anyways, as I'm saying, what you've got now is a situation where she's working on, where Asha is, I said her name. Asha is working on the public front-facing part of Xbox. Great, and she's doing a great job of it. Like I said, building a foundation of positivity, absolutely. Right? I'm liking every move that she's made so far, me personally. People will disagree with me, totally fine. We're all allowed to have our opinions. People can argue about it on podcasts. Other podcasters will say different things than I'm saying. Totally fine, totally cool. I just think that these are positive moves, right? Now the next thing is you got 2026 with a bunch of big bangers coming out. Great. You know what your real struggle is going to be, or your real challenge is going to be? I want to see how you answer in 2027. It ain't 2026 that you got to prove to me that Xbox has got great games. I expect greatness coming out from them this year with those titles that I just mentioned. But now you're going to be facing, outside of Halo, upwards of 5 years without those flagship titles, because you ain't getting no Fable 2 before 2032 or maybe 2030. You ain't getting another Gears for another 5 years. You ain't getting another Forza for at least another 2 or 3 years. Right? So now you're going to have to wow me with your other games. And that is going to be that is going to be the true test. That's going to be their true test. Not this year. This year's a layup. 2027 and beyond is what you're going to have to prove that you got what it takes with that quality software and compelling software to get people to buy Helixes next year. Right? To get people in the ecosystem. Adopt on PC. Maybe pick up a used series console if you can't afford a Helix. Whatever, right? Everybody has different financial situations. And that's what I see. So it's going to be very important. Not this year. It's going to be very important to see how they maneuver the business in 2027. I hope that was as informative as I could possibly be, folks. I tried my best. But that's the way I see it. And I hope Usher's listening right now. Not just stick her head in the door like 5 minutes into my show when I'm talking nonsense. This is when I want her tuning in to listen to this. I don't know. Maybe one day she'll hear me out. We'll talk about it. But either way, let's catch up with the community real quick before we move on, folks. And we're not moving on. We're going to continue talking about this. We're going to pass it off to you guys and, your questions and everything else, and we will answer them all as best as I can humanly possibly do. And right now, we got the AO. Oh, hey! Let's go! Oh, hey! And he comes in and drops $20 super chat. Thank you so much, the OA. Thank you so much, my friend. And he says, middle ground solution is the best one for devs, Microsoft, and consumers. Take out day and date, make it 6 to 12 months to show up on Game Pass, keep the prices stable, you get the money from FOMO guys and gamers that don't mind can wait. There you go. That's a middle ground solution. I'm totally fine with that. I mean, it doesn't affect me. I'm not on Game Pass. I buy my games, I'll buy them day one. If I want a game from Xbox, if I want a game that they have, I'm buying it day one. Right? So for me, it's a non-issue. However, that being the case, OA, you're 100% right. Middle ground is where we're talking about. Thank you so much for the super chat, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate you dearly. And we got LePedro coming in. A member for 1 month. Thank you so much, LePedro. To hell with your Dodgers. And he says, big games are not going day and date next year. All right, that's your prediction. All right. We shall see, LePedro. We will probably revisit this conversation sometime next year, because I think that this year is going to remain status quo. I think that any bigger moves, I mean, I've been proven wrong before, but I think that any bigger moves beyond that is going to show up in 2027 and beyond. That's what we're going to find out what the move is from there. As also, they're going to be not only revealing properly reveal, they're also going to be launching new hardware. So I think with that are going to come some policy changes. So LePedro, you may be right, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Thank you so much, brother. And we got Andy Hart coming in with £5. Ladies and gentlemen, that's British proper money, ladies and gentlemen. You don't mess around with the British pound. You don't. And Andy Hart says for £5 He says Xbox One X was a beast of a console. Goddamn right it was. I loved it until it melted. Mine melted while I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 on it. I thought it was a funny. I think it's a funny story now. It was not funny when it happened. Let me tell you that much. It was a beast of a console. Went up against PS4 Pro and held its own and was better. Unfortunately, not supported enough. Yes. Listen, let me tell you something. Let's get something straight. Let's get something straight right now. For anybody watching now, after the fact, whatever. Let me tell you this. I may shit all over some of the decisions that have been going on Xbox since 2016. I think 2013 to 2016 was fine for me. I had no problem with it. Their messaging with the launch of the Xbox One was fucking devastating, but it didn't affect me. But because they had an amazing launch lineup in 2013, they had exclusive content that came over there. They had also, on top of that, they had third-party deals exclusive. You remember Rise of the Tomb Raider exclusive on Xbox One? You remember that shit? That sold boxes, man. Sold games. Anyways, whatever. The point is, the one thing that I will never, ever criticize are Xbox's hardware. Their hardware outside of the Red Ring of Death situation, which it didn't matter. I still bought 3 of the goddamn things. Xbox hardware has always been excellent. Okay, the Xbox One was a well-built tank of a machine. The One X was amazing. The Series X is a tank of a machine. The Series S is even a capable little beast that runs incredibly well. I mean, it doesn't really optimize very well. We all know that. And it's a weaker system. However, it's well built. So I've never actually said anything negative about their hardware. Their hardware has always been sound. And when you've got, what's it called? When you got Gandalf over there doing his thing, he makes solid hardware. I will never, ever criticize that. The biggest problem is mixed messaging, bad messaging, confusing messaging, and not compelling software. And that's where they're getting curb stomped, Andy Hart. So yes, you're right. Not supported enough. I mean, a big selling point at one point, if you had the money for it, an Xbox One X was the best place to play, outside of future PC release, the best place to play Red Dead Redemption 2. I played it on my Xbox One X at 4K, native 4K nonetheless. Yes, it was 30 frames per second, but it was still a 4K game. Right? And we got G-Mania coming in, dropping a $10 super chat. Let's go. Thank you so much, G-Mania. Appreciate you, brother. And for 10 Canadian dollars, he says, what sold me on the Xbox was the controller. The PlayStation controller. Oh, dude, don't get me started with the PlayStation controllers from the previous one. The DualSense, to me right now, is the best controller on the market. I love that thing. If you actually play with that controller, I got one right here. Look at this. I got a purple one right here. All right. Great controller. Amazing features on it. Haptic feedbacks, the rumble support, the 3D audio that comes out of the controller, the pad, everything. I love it. Great controller. The Xbox controller dominated from the 360 and on. I did not like the Duke, but the 360 and on, the Xbox dominated the controller market for like 16 years. So there's that. So let's get back to that super chat. He says, what sold me on the Xbox was the controller. The PlayStation controller is too awkward, and I hated the thumbsticks were across from each other. It's like the Xbox controllers were made for your hand. Yes, they were. They are. They're made more ergonomically correct. So like if you're holding your hands over there, your thumbs don't sit like this. However, you get used to it after a while of your thumbs being there. It's more ergonomically correct to have one higher and one lower so that your hands actually sit naturally on the controller. Right? So there is that. You're not wrong there. And the Xbox controllers have dominated the market up until this point. But, however, in my opinion, I think that the DualSense overall, with its features and its technology built into it, which adds to the gaming experience, to me, right now, is unmatched. I am actually quite confident that the next Xbox controller is going to have some of those features over there, and it's going to be an amazing controller, and I think it will overtake the DualSense as the better controller on the market. But we shall see when next gen launches. It's going to be very exciting. I'm excited for it. You should be excited for it. So, where are we going? Grumpy Old Fart comes in, drops a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Grumpy Old Farter. What does he drop? He drops a Steam code, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. He drops a Steam. Go get it, go get it. The sirens are going, the sirens are going. He dropped a Steam code for Resident Evil Village. Go get it right now, ladies and gentlemen. And nowhere else are you going to get this many codes in one show. We have 4 gaming codes given away this show this very night. Where else are you going to find that other than MAGGCAST? Thank you guys so much for all the generosity, man. Absolutely amazing. Neil Gushwa, I am not drinking alcohol. I have to stay sober in case my son needs anything because of his head, the sports injury. So I have to be completely sober. So I'm drinking water. So yeah. So there's that. You know, I got to parent sometimes. You got to adult sometimes. It's just the way it goes, right? So, yeah. And Neil Gushwa, speaking of which, he drops a $5 super chat. Let's go, Neil Gushwa. There it is. Thank you so much, Neil Gushwa, for $5. He says, got back from Vegas. Blast. Had Gordon Ramsay steak. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Had the reserve ribeye. $139. Jesus Christ, dude. That's crazy. He goes, best shit I've ever tasted in my life. 100. There you go. There you go. Nice, Neil Gushwa. He was going to drop a $10 super chat, but he has no money left because he spent $139 on a steak. Oh, my goodness. RPG, you're not wrong. The DualShock 4 was fucking terrible. The PlayStation 3 controller was basically a toy. I was afraid to break it. It was so small and fragile and frail. It was like an old... it was like an old man's back. I was afraid to, like, play the damn thing. The PlayStation controllers... were cheap, shitty in my opinion, all the way up until the DualSense. DualSense, they nailed it. They nailed it. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. But Xbox has been outside of the Duke. I hated the Duke controller. Okay, the Duke controller, 0 out of 10. I hated that controller with a passion. I know people have like obviously an affinity for that controller because it brings back nostalgic feelings or whatever else. I have no nostalgia for the OG Xbox. I never owned one. I played on an OG Xbox several times. I never owned one myself, and I always hated that fucking controller. The Duke controller was a nightmare. Xbox 360 and on, 10 out of 10. Xbox 360 controllers and on into the Xbox One, into the Series consoles, 10 out of 10. However, DualSense got a 10.5 up for me. Oh. If it's even a thing. But anyways, yeah. All right, we got 2 more Super Chats coming in. We got Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat dropping 5 Australian didgeridoos. Thank you so much, Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat. I appreciate you, brother. And he says, Game Pass TNC. What the hell does TNC mean? Someone let me know what TNC is. I hated the Duke top. Islord, yeah, you're not wrong, dude. I hated that fucking controller. I'm like, would I have to be Andre the Giant to like hold this controller? It's ridiculous. It's like the what was that stupid controller? I think to me the worst controllers ever conceived were the N64 controller from Nintendo, obviously, and the Duke. Hated them both. I'm like, what the hell is this? 360 Xbox controllers changed, no pun intended, changed the game forever in terms of controllers. That's the way I feel. Anyway, sorry. Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat. He says Game Pass TNC. Terms and conditions. Hey, Jay Silver. Thank you. Thank you. I think that's what it means. Oh, there it is. Grandpa Barbecue said it as well. Terms and conditions. Listen, man, I don't got all the kids' lingos. I'm an old man.
What an idiot.
You know what I mean?
Oh, what a loser.
He says, Game Pass terms and conditions. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate gives you access to 400 plus console and PC games, select new games on day one, select new games. That's a good idea. But he does say select new games. Well, they have to say that now, Grandpa Barbecue, because they have no choice to say that. Because now Call of Duty is not all of their games, right? So technically, not all of their games have gone day and date anymore. Call of Duty is a first-party game, and now we can't call it day and date. So they have to use wordage, corpo bullshit like select new games so that they don't get in trouble. By the way, there's something else I want to talk about, but before we do that, I'm going to catch up with G-Mania. Drops another $5 super chat. G-Mania's on fire tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The Jaguar had a stupid controller. Yeah, it did. God damn it, that was bad too. I forgot about that one. Maybe I erased that from my mind like Men in Black. Like they came over and like did the pen thing on me. And and then that was it, and I just forgot about it. Anyway, sorry. G-Mania says for $5 Canadian. Thank you so much, G-Mania. He says, but one thing the PS5 controller doesn't have that I love about Xbox is the option for AA batteries. Fair enough. Now, what I have, I have a fancy little thing that I got for Christmas 2 years ago. My wife bought for me. It's a wireless charger. They're cheap, by the way, like $25. They look gorgeous. They light up. $25. You get them on Amazon. And what you do is it's a double wireless controller. And I have the one controller that came with the PS5. And then I bought this one on sale on when did I buy this? I think I bought this on Boxing Day. This one here. It was on sale for like $30 off or something like that for this DualSense. It's a purple one. I love this one. And they had a sale on it. It was like $30 off for controllers. I bought an extra one, and I keep them both on right over there in the wireless controller. My Pulse 3D Elite headphones are also on a wireless stand, so it's actually built right into the wall and just sits there. So when I walk by, I just pull off the headphones if I'm using them, and then I always got a controller charged. Now the thing is, I could play like when I do the live streams with you guys, sometimes 3-4 hours or whatever. When I'm done, this thing still has 2 out of 3 bars. So how fucking long are you playing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm playing 4 hours and it only used 1 bar out of 3. Like, what are you playing? 12 hours in a row? You don't get up? You don't go eat? You don't go walk around? You don't go take a piss? You don't work? You don't do something? Like, I mean, come on. Now, the other thing is, too, fair enough, the controllers, the batteries kind of die off over time. I get all that. But that's why I have that thing. $25. I got 2 controllers on there. The one that I use, which is the purple one. And if this were to magically run out, which it never has in the 5.5 years that I've had the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, I have never had a controller die on me, even in my private gameplays. But if I did, for whatever reason, I got the second one fully charged right there. So guess what you do? You pick up the other one, you take that one, you put it on the wireless stand, and you go back and you keep playing for another 12 hours before that dies, or however long it is, and then you just change back and forth. It's not a big deal. Fuzzy Tomato, those headphones are absolutely amazing. They are worth every penny. The 3D Pulse Elite headphones they're like putting 2 pillows on your head. They are so comfortable, so amazing. And I gotta say, from this generation, the Xbox headphones, the actual Xbox headphones, they were not very expensive. They're like $139.99 Canadian, whatever it was, $129 Canadian. And those headphones are amazing. And I still use those headphones as my Xbox headphones. You know the one I'm talking about? The one with the big cups on it where you turn the volume. They were actually made by Xbox. Those ones are amazing. So those Xbox headphones are incredible, and the 3D Pulse Elite headphones are the best PlayStation headphones I've ever used. Amazing. I love them. Sound is incredible. The 3D audio is unmatched. Mr. Little Evil in the chat is saying the Xbox Elite lasts 40 plus hours. Jesus Christ. CDB is saying, Mag, hold up that controller again. All right. There it is. It's a purple one. And I love it. It's an awesome controller. Yeah, and I got it for like $30 off at GameStop. They had a sale on Boxing Day. I know Americans don't have Boxing Day, or maybe you do. I don't know. I don't think you do. I think it's more of a UK and Canada thing. We have Boxing Day. It's the day after Christmas. It's basically like the Canadian and UK version of Black Friday, which is ironic because we also have Black Friday here, which doesn't make any sense because it's not based around any holiday. They just take advantage of the fact that, Black Friday is big and popular in the US. Cybergutter, I haven't even said hi to you. He goes, I have those headphones for the PS5, yeah. DualSense is like max 8 hours. Okay, even if it was 8 hours, let's just say that. Who's sitting down for 8 hours straight without moving? That's insane. That's insane to me. Without charging them or like getting up, doing something else, go to the bathroom, take a shower, get dressed, eat food. I don't know. Mr. Scorpio in the chat says, hey, Mag, off topic, but do you think EA will ever remake Dead Space 2? No, they won't. That is definitely scrapped. Unless something changes in the far future, you will not be seeing a Dead Space 2. They can that. Just not Dead Space 1 remake did not make that money. And me personally, I didn't think it was that good. Because that came out the same time as Callisto Protocol, and I know that's going to piss some people off. But I'll tell you right now, Callisto Protocol was the better game. Sorry, that's my opinion. You can crucify me all you want. But you know what I mean? I thought it was the better game. I thought Callisto Protocol was the cream.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
RPG says, I've been in the chair since 9 a.m. Yeah, but were you working or playing video games? Deceiver, what's up? Oh, Jay Silver, yeah. The Xbox controller has, more life power to it because you're using actual batteries and stuff, right? Yeah. PS Vet, you can always ask me personal questions off stream. Stoned Rambo, what's up? He's saying, no. Oh, Bobby's saying hell no, too. Hey, there we go. We're yeah! You can fire me. There it is. You can fire me for saying it. I thought Callisto Protocol was the better game. I loved it. I played Dead Space 1 Remake. I was like, okay, well, not good. The original trilogy, I love the original trilogy. Dead Space trilogy was amazing. And I loved how the third one had co-op. Even better. But anyways, anybody have any more questions about the whole Game Pass, Sasha Sharma situation? What do you guys think about it? Are you happy about it? Do you like the idea of it? Magnum, you missed. We talked about the Game Pass stuff, the lowering of prices and stuff like that. In Canada, it's now $30 a month instead of $40, so it's basically down like $9 and change. Jay Silver, listen, man, I just telling you my personal feeling on it. Oh, your wicked hot comes flying in. The only guy who's on my side, and he says Callisto all day. Oh. Oh, Bobby, that's hilarious. I mean, it's not hilarious, but it's kind of funny. He says Callisto Protocol gone on Plus for a month after paying full price for the damn game. It could eat my ass. Garrett Taylor, how you doing, man? He goes, the Elite controller has a built-in battery like the DualSense. Ah, yes. Okay, well, there you go. I don't have an Elite controller. I couldn't justify paying $350 Canadian for a fucking controller. That's insane. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. RPG's asking in the chat. He says, do you think Day and Date will disappear? My question is my question. You know what? I don't know, dude. I really don't know. Now, the thing is this, though. I want to ask you this question. Down the road, when you got a Helix coming out, and then you got Elder Scrolls 6 and like a Fallout 5 that's going to cost a ton of money to make those games and time. Do you think, at that point, do you think that Microsoft would be like, nah, we ain't putting that Day and Date. People want those games. That cost us $300 million to make or whatever. Do you think that they're going to put that in their Day and Date? I think by that point you might see it phased out. It's possible. I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm just saying it's possible. So answer your question, yes. I'm going to give it a 50-50 shot. How about that? Let's give it 50-50 on that. But we're going to have to see. And Itchy's coming flying in with a $2 super chat as well. He says, Max streams are my highlight of the week. Well, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mohammed. Good evening to you. Maverick, how are you? So, yeah, let's see. We're going to have to wait and see how these policies change. Now, the thing is, I'm looking at this entire situation, and now I'm like, well, you know what? It's like I said, guys, it's 50-50, okay? This either is going to represent this entire situation with Game Pass and with Call of Duty. This is either representative of a beginning of the end of Day and Date, and they do it slowly but surely so as not to like completely shell shock people, or it simply could just be that it's just Call of Duty and that's all there is to it. Right? It could just be that. Now, the other question is, there's something else I wanted to ask. Excuse me just 1 minute. I just got to stretch my legs. I'm old, man. I work out before I come on the show, right? So I work out, and I work out pretty vigorously. I work out at least an hour or whatever else, right? So I do all that kind of stuff. And then when I sit down in the chair, my whole body locks up, right? Whole body locks up. So I got to kind of like stretch the legs every once in a while. Because I also do like 14, 15, 16 kilometers. So what's that? Hold on, let's find out for my American friends. Let me see. Let's see. 16 kilometers to miles. Not 26, you asshole. I said 16. It's the equivalent of 10 miles. So I do 10 miles on my bike. Not out in the wild. I mean, like, I have a recumbent bike that I sit on. I can't do the stand-up bikes because it hurts my back. So I have a recumbent bike. I do 10 miles on that, 16 kilometers for my Canadian friends. And then after that, then I do the workout. That's before the workout. So I do the 10 miles before the workout. Then I start doing the chin-ups. I do the weight training. I do the core training. I do the abs. 200 crunches with the abs and all that shit. I do all that stuff after. So when I come down and sit down in this chair, yeah, I'm jacked and I'm ready to go. But after about an hour or so, never mind the peeing, then it turns into like the whole body starts to go, and I start like locking up like a friggin' like a turtle shell. No, I'm not going to go pee again. I'm just going to stand up for like 2 seconds. Look. I'm not even going to turn the camera up. I'm going to be right here. Look. You guys get to see my Star Wars original trilogy PJ pants. Star Wars original trilogy PJ pants, folks. That's what I'm talking about. And of course, I've got to be wearing my Batman Ouija board shirt. Look, it's a dope ass shirt. What's up, Great Wall? How you doing, buddy? Poseidon, how are you? And no, I wasn't pointing at my penis. I was pointing at the pictures on my PJ pants. Okay, so here's a question. Hey, Paulie Walnuts, what are you doing? How you doing? There you go. He does 10 miles when he's taking a nap because he's got restless legs. Dude, I got that too, man. Yo, the Shibby, what's up? How you guys doing? Oh! We got Clock Rocket. I almost said Cock Rocket. We got Clock Rocket here dropping a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Clock Rocket. He said, I'm late, but I am here for the pants. Thank you so much. There you go. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got 78 Inc. has joined the chat, ladies and gentlemen, and has gifted 10 gifted members to the channel. Let's go! Thank you so much, 78 Inc. All right, rock and roll. Thanks, buddy. Huge supporter of the channel. And to all those new maggots out there, let me tell you something. Oh, Pink Pickles, I see you out there. Look at the big gift box that just opened up on the screen. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? Grumpy old fart, you finally got it. There you go, buddy. You finally got gifted member. I tried so many times to get you in there. 78 Inc., thank you so much for that. And for all the new maggots out there, make sure you thank 78 Inc. for that first and foremost. And, of course, on top of that...
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Welcome to hell, everybody, because you ain't coming out. You're here for life, and that's all there is to it. Look at all that beautiful green. Thank you so much, 78 Inc., once again, for all the incredible generosity to this channel, brother. I couldn't do any of this without you guys, and you're absolutely amazing. And thank you so much, again, 78 Inc. Thank you so much. What's in the box? Ayo, 5.0 Trey Gaming, what's up? How's it going?
You're fucking warned. Don't
Let's
ever go over my fucking head again.
Yeah.
You motherfucker, you.
That wasn't for you, Trey. I actually pressed the wrong button. I was supposed to press this one.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Welcome back to the chat. Thank you so much, 78 Inc. Man, you're amazing. Okay, so I have a question. And I want 78 Inc. to answer this question. I want all you guys to answer this question.
Welcome to hell.
What about the people who stacked Game Pass for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years with the implication from Microsoft at that up to that point that Call of Duty would be there day one in Game Pass? Answer me that.
Welcome to hell.
Yeah, Gunler, I wasn't supposed to press that button. I was supposed to press the other button. Like I reached over to press it and I'm like, oh shit, it was too late. By then I already had pressed the button. I'm like, oh, whoops, wrong button. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse you out. 5-0 Trey Gaming, I did not mean to curse you out. Or I mean, technically it wasn't me, it was Joe Pesci, okay? So like, I don't know, maybe it's my fault, I'm the idiot.
Oh, what a loser!
I am, but what am I supposed to do about it? You know what I mean?
Fuck!
Anyways, my question is this. Yes, you're right, Jay Silver. Seth Monsters, if you got thoughts, lay them out. Let me see. Put them in the chat. Put them in the chat. Yeah, Fuzzy Tomato, I said the same thing. Read the fine print. I said the same thing. Now, it comes to a point where you have to sit there and go, well, you know, there could be arguments made and they could be. Now, the thing is, you're right.
Welcome to hell.
You're absolutely right. You can say, listen, man, it was in the small print the whole time. Like, you know, when you buy something from Temu and it says, oh, by the way, you might be called up to the Chinese army, and you press accept. You know what I mean? You don't fucking know. You don't know what's going on. But here's the thing. At the end of the Truth Serum, how you doing, bud? Here's the thing. If they just go out and say that, be like, listen, man, I stacked for 3 years with the intention and your implication of Call of Duty being in there day and date for the next 3 years, which I prepaid for. What are you doing for me? Now, at that point, Microsoft could do one of two things. They could either address it directly and say, this is what we're doing now, and you're shit out of luck. And that's going to look really bad on them because, you know, they're all about right now. I can tell you right now, as Usher's doing, what's she doing? She's trying to change the public-facing, the face-forward fronting part of the company, right? She's trying to do that. This would not be a good look if she says, oh, well, better luck next time, assholes. You know what I mean? Not going to do that. So how are they going to address it? That's going to be something that they will have to address because a lot of people did do that, and they will say that. They're not just going to say, well, oh, well, I stacked for 3 years, now I got to buy Call of Duty for the next 3 years and spend another $210 over the next 3 years on top of what I stacked in order to buy Call of Duty because I do play Call of Duty. That is something that I think they're going to have to address. And they're going to have to address it in a way that's going to continue to make their image looking good. Because they've done a good job of it so far this year since Joshua took over, right? That's my opinion. It's not her fault she inherited a fucking shit show. But she's been working hard and diligently at trying to fix that image. This will not help the image if Microsoft tells them, well, too bad, so sad. Right? You don't want to do that. So how are they going to address that? And I think it's something they will have to address. Now, the thing is, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm really at a loss for words there. What do you guys think about it? Yeah, Mohammed. I did hear about the rumors of the Microsoft layoffs, but it's been a long time. I mean, I heard that it was originally supposed to come in January. I think, and here's my personal opinion. I may be totally wrong, but I think that all that is put on hold right now because of the new leadership, and it's not because they're like, oh, well, now she's got free reign. No, she doesn't. She still has bosses to answer to. And she has 3 bosses to answer to. She has the shareholders, Satya Nadella, and, of course, Amy Hood. Okay? For now. But she'll always have bosses to answer to. So I don't think she has free reign over everything. She still has to work within parameters that have to fit the business model. We understand how that, well, some of us understand how that works. That's the way it goes. You're not just willy-nilly throwing money around like a French king. You're like, hey, here we go. Oh, look at this. Like, they can't do that. But I think that any layoff plans that they had may have gone on hold, Mohammed. That's what I'm thinking. And only because it's going on hold for now until they sort out this entire, like, the new direction that they plan on going. Now, it's not a completely new direction. It's just an adjusted direction. It's still going in the same direction. It's just adjusted. And I think that there's going to be, during that adjustment period, I think people will be safe. For now, I could be completely wrong. You know, they might do layoffs tomorrow, for all I know, or they might not never do them at all. We're going to have to wait and see. We got Magnum, a member for 4 months. Thank you so much, Magnum. And his member chat, he says, I stacked 3 years of play. You fucking asshole.
PlayStation.
I didn't even get to finish reading it. And he says, Magnum says, I stacked 3 years of PlayStation Plus to play Concord Online. Sony robbed me according to that logic. Let's go. Yeah! Magnum, that's not the same. That was funny, though. That was funny. That's not the same logic. because Concord is not Call of Duty. Call of Duty's been running for 20 years and is not going anywhere. Concord was a one-off and clearly went nowhere. But it was not part of a subscription service at that point. Right? One that releases games day and date. So that's a thing. So we can't use that as the same logic. It's not the same. But Magnum, that was fucking hilarious. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. KLZ asks in the chat, how do you even get a gifted memberships? Well, you don't. It picks at random. So anybody who's listening to the show that's not a channel member, it's basically like a random lottery system. It just kind of picks a bunch of people who aren't already current members of the channel. That's kind of how it works. So yeah. Concord Game of the Year. Deceiver. Oh my goodness. AI is the end game, is Mastermind, is what he's saying. There will be definitely implementation of AI over the next five years that is going to be devastating to the technical world. Absolutely. Don't ever think otherwise. Don't think otherwise. It is going to be devastating to the tech world. Not for us as consumers. For people working in the tech world, it's going to be devastating. But not yet. It's slowly happening. But, you know, the AI, when people say the AI bubble is going to burst, they're talking about the bullshit of watching like Will Smith eating spaghetti and all that other kind of crap. That stuff will eventually go away. You know, YouTube cracking down on these AI shorts that everybody keeps cranking out. They're fucking dog slop AI shorts that they keep putting on YouTube. Those are going away slowly but surely. YouTube is closing down those accounts. That ain't going anywhere. That's going somewhere. I mean, maybe there's going to be like a period where they're going to be like, listen, we'll meet halfway where you could use some AI here. But AI implementation in the behind the scenes tech world, that's where that ain't never going to burst. They invested trillions into that. Trillions between all the companies, not just Microsoft. I'm talking about like all the companies combined. When you invest trillions, someone's getting paid. And the piper is going to get paid. There's no way you invest that money just to clean it, okay? You're not laundering all that money. You're using that for something else. You're building some kind of a future that's going to make you all those trillions back and trillions more. I know, Seth Monsters, we have already talked about this a bunch of times. I know we disagree on it. He said it's already bursted. It's not nearly as useful as hoped and not generating money. It's a bust, man. All right. For now, I still think that computing, like most of the computing power that's done by humans now, will eventually gonna get to that point where. But maybe you're right. Maybe you're absolutely right. Seth Monsters, I don't know, dude. We're just gonna have to wait and see how this, happen. But in terms of like the social aspect of AI, I'm not talking about the tech stuff that's going on in the background. The social stuff, like the stupid videos and the Instagram shit, and you're watching going, oh, that's a great, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm about to hit the like on it, and I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch, that's not even real, fuck you, and I swish, and I flick, Wingardium Leviosa, you know what I'm saying?
Control your emotions, discipline your mind.
I don't support those videos. I don't do it. I immediately. What's Seth saying? He goes, but I use it every day. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing, Seth. It's lame already. Yeah, fair enough. But you know what they're going to do? When they invested all that money, they're going to find different ways to implement it. So if it's not working out like right now, like, if it's not working out the way that you want it to, or you're saying, man, this is not really it, or whatever, it's costing too much money, they will continue to evolve it into a way that becomes more seamless. That's what I'm thinking. I know a guy who created an AI. I can't talk about it. He's a pretty big deal, and he showed me something with his. He had like 9 computer monitors on a whole wall, and he was showing me this stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, this is what we're doing. This is how it's going to be implemented, and whatever." And anyway, he ran through me all this stuff, and I got to see it firsthand. Myself and my cousin were there, the doctor, and we were staring at this thing. I can't say any more than that, obviously, for obvious reasons. And he was showing me what the the implementations that he plans to utilize it for and whatever else, and I was just like, Jesus Christ. I don't know, man. Seth Monta says, I use it to make dollars. Am I they? Oh, man. Funky Playbox, that's going to slowly go away when he's saying it's sickening when AI shite gets millions of views and subs. Yeah, I know. Like, some of it's kind of funny and stuff, but like that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is a completely different situation. Like, that stuff is just whatever. 78 is saying in the chat, he goes, when used as a tool, it's very helpful to get past tough tasks if I can't figure it out first. Seth Monster says, laugh out loud sounds like my office. Well, that's the other thing. Like, how many people are using that shit for, like, well, they're like, oh, AI ain't AI is not really the future and this and that. And then in the same breath goes, hey, Copilot, make me a picture of this. Look at all the people's thumbnails out there. Not all of them, but a lot of thumbnails of even people who don't use AI in any other way. They're using AI for their thumbnails and for their art. Right? Then it's sitting down using Copilot. Hey, Copilot, find me a double penetration video or whatever the hell you're into. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, using it for that. People are using the meta stuff. They're using the Copilot. They're using the other ones. Google has theirs, right? Amazon has it. There are, like, a lot of people are using it for search engines for now, but then it's going to find other ways in there. Seth Monsters, what's he saying? He goes, we are building an app with it in the Discord. Let's fucking go! Fuzzy Tomato says, I rewatched The Matrix last night in preparation. Hey, The Bean! Were you here earlier tonight and just haven't said anything in a while? Because I swear I saw your name. Or maybe that was in a comment section of one of my videos. But either way, hello and welcome to the show, my friend. Appreciate it. Maverick, I know what you're laughing at. My Copilot search history. I want Asha to see that. All right? What do you think about that, AI girl? Come check out my Copilot search history. Oh, you just got off work. Okay, so it wasn't you. Well, there you go. I'm saying hi to you now, buddy. Copilot is practical for Crimson Desert. Grumpy old fart, you're not wrong. Dude, you know how many times I've had to deal with, like, I think between Elden Ring... By the way, they're making an Elden Ring movie as well. I know we talked about movies that were coming out, video game movies. They're making an Elden Ring movie as well. So that's going to be a big situation. And it's going to be a very, very expensive film from what I'm understanding. When I get more information about it, I'll let you guys know. Neuralink, it's coming next, baby. Dude, I want to be an android robot. You know what I want? I want them to find a way to make me, like, live, like, I'll go for, like RoboCop stuff. Maybe not RoboCop style, but, like, make me half man, half android. I'm totally good with that. And then all of a sudden, Indian furries, Clock Rocket. Okay? Make me half android, half human, Neuralink, keep my brain alive and my consciousness alive for like 1,000 years, and then just have me change robotic bodies. Fuck, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Oh, by the way, Jay Silver, on top of that, what's his name? Septic Guy is making a Bloodborne movie. There's another one. That's another one I failed to mention earlier in the show when I was talking about it, because I also saw that. I'm like, guys, is this just me? I know it was just like a warm-up topic or whatever, but it was something that was interesting. I'm just like, man, what the hell is going on right now? There is like a plethora of gaming movies and shows that have either A, come out, or B, on the horizon, and it's very exciting. I just hope that they're really well made. That's all. That's, that's my biggest thing. Infernal Earth, how you doing, bud? So anybody have any... Altered Carbon was great. Yeah, the stacks remind me of Neuralink. Yeah, dude, Maverick, that show was awesome, man. I love that show. Season 1 was amazing. Season 2, not nearly as good, but Season 1 was amazing. Season 2 was... The story wasn't as good. I wasn't as invested in Season 2. I was like, it's all right. So, there's that. But whatever. Bloodborne remake is not happening, Clock Rocket, but the Bloodborne movie by Jacksepticeye, who's putting up the money to finance it, is coming. So there is that. Funky Playbox, you're going to bed? Yeah, man. Thank you very much for stopping by and watching the show, brother. I appreciate you. Now, I am approaching the 3-hour mark over here, as a matter of fact, and I think we're going to actually we're going to start calling it a night over here on this end. Like I said, I ain't drinking or ain't doing none of that. No after party tonight because I have to make sure that the boy is still okay upstairs, and I got to see how that's all going. So, yeah. Splinter Cell delay, 78. I did not hear anything about it. I will have to look into that, and that would piss me right off if that is indeed the case. But either way, yeah, I think we're going to wrap up the show here, folks. That was awesome. 3 hours of goodness. We had a great show tonight. And now I actually was going to tell you guys what's going on for the rest of the week. Tomorrow at noon, I got a video dropping about the Pragmata Drama. So check out that. Yeah, 78. I'm going to go check into it. I'm going to go check into that Splinter Cell situation because I know the guys working on the game. They're literally 30 minutes from my house. Ubisoft Toronto is like 30 minutes from my house. So, I will look into that literally first thing tomorrow morning. Jay Silver, I'm about to mention that right now. Mastermind, you're very welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. What I was going to say is this. Tomorrow at noon, I got a video dropping. It is about the Pragmata Drama. Go check that out if you want to. Also, this week, I think I'm going to do it Thursday. Fuck it. I'm just going to do it Thursday. Thursday night, we're going to be doing Pragmata Part 2. That is going to be a thing. Friday Night Live will be Pragmata Part 3 and possibly the ending, depending on how far I get into the game. We'll see how that goes. But either way, I'll be streaming Pragmata Thursday and Friday night for just a Thursday bonus stream. And then, of course, Friday Night Live is a standard show I do every Friday. Being Wolfman is... He's doing okay and struggling just a little bit. That's why I'm going to go check on him. Oh, 78 Inc. Wait till you see my video tomorrow, dude. It's got nothing to do with the game itself. It's for the fucking psychos all around it. And Maverick drops a $2 super chat before I run out the door. Thank you so much. And he says, fire show as always, Mag. Good shit. Thanks, dude. Well, thank you guys for being here, man. I appreciate every last one of you. Thank you, guys. I will be back on XNC next week, Clock Rocket. I was only off XNC because of my son's injury, which happened yesterday. So I had to keep a very close eye on him. So, yeah. So I will be, yeah, there's that. Emperor Hound, thank you for being here as well. Grandpa Barbecue, all you guys, everybody, every single one of you guys. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Video tomorrow at noon. Thursday night and Friday night, Pragmata Part 2 and Part 3. Part 3 will be on Friday Night Live. And then on top of that, I'm going to do a bonus on Thursday at 11:30 a.m., ladies and gentlemen. 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. And why is that? Because we are going to be covering on this channel, we are going to be doing a live watch party for Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. Let's go! We're going to do it right here on the channel, 11:30 in the morning, half an hour before it happens. Oh! And right, because I think it launches at noon Eastern Standard Time. So it'll be 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is the showcase for Black Flag Resynced. And so I will be going live half an hour before that show, and we will do a live watch party and reaction to that, and it'll be awesome. So yes, thank you guys so much for all of that. Yes, you better get if you're not working, or even if you are working, have your phone on very quietly in the background, and then you guys can watch the live reaction. Or if you're at home, join the party, baby. That's what we're going to be doing. And before we even leave, we got Bobby coming in, dropping a $1 super chat and saying absolutely nothing. Thank you so much, Bobby. Appreciate you. Oh, and Seth Monsters says, get him something beef from us. Thank you so much, Seth Monsters, for the $10 super chat. Let's go. Thank you so much, Seth Monsters. Appreciate you, brother. And all your support of this channel. Been absolutely legendary. And we got Seth Monsters coming in again, dropping another $20 super chat. Let's go, Seth Monsters. And he says, more. Unbelievable. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Seth Monsters, man. Thank you for the $30 in super chats, brother. I appreciate you tremendously, man. Thank you guys so much. Oh, Deceiver, yeah, wait till Pragmata Drama. It's not the game itself. It's around it. I don't want to get back in that conversation. Trust me, it's not a pretty one. But watch the video tomorrow, and you tell me what you think in the comments, because I read all the comments. So you guys check out that video. Let me know what you guys think. Anybody who was here during the show, early in the show when I talked about it, y'all already heard the story. So, you know. Oh, Seth Monsters, I absolutely will, my friend. Thank you so much, man. I absolutely will. I absolutely will. I will hook him up. And I'll make sure that he knows that it was you, my friend. Okay, guys. Thank you so much again. everybody, thank you for all the support. Listen, like I said, I won't be live tomorrow, but I will have a video dropping tomorrow at noon. As I had already said, it will show up as a premiere on YouTube. And then, of course, we will be going live Thursday morning. So I will see all of you. Well, hopefully, I'd like to see all of you at some point. I'll see you guys all Thursday morning, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live reaction watch party of Black Flag Resynced. So I'm excited for that. We got a lot going on this week. The rest of the week is packed with material. So we're going to have a great time doing it. And get out there, get gaming, stay magnificent, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye now.